What's going on, YouTube? Back at you with another one. We got podcast number 4. As always, got my brother here.
What's going on, y'all? Your boy Damorn.
So, bro, how's your week been, man?
Shit, my week's been all right. Highlight of my week this week, I guess the UFC fight. My week's be mad uneventful, just straight working like a dog, bro.
Yeah.
Any highlights for your week?
Shit, turned 27 last week. I guess so. I guess in the past 7 days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Turned 27, 26 part 2. Yeah, bro. So, what's the low point you had, bro?
Low point, man. I'm tired of working, man. I'm looking forward. I got a 3-week vacation coming up in August. That's the only thing I'm looking forward to. I'm just tired of working. I'm working like 7 days a week right now, just trying to stack my money. Yeah, it could be a low point for me. What about you, bro?
A lot of perceived low points, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like a lot of different ones. You know what I'm saying? But I think on a positive note, you could take a lot of L's. 2 L's. You can form a W with them. So
there you go. Absolutely.
That's how I'm trying to look at it.
Yo, today's podcast, we're gonna be talking about it's a pretty beefy topic right here, brother, man. Relationships, not just intimate relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, but we could stem off into friendships as well.
Right.
But relationships, man. So starting off, as far as relationships go, what's your definition of? Well, we'll talk about like intimate relationships. So, like, what's your definition of love and friendship? We'll start it off with that.
I thought about that because I knew we were going to be talking about it, so I thought about that when I was running errands and things like that. To me, I think that love is like acceptance. When you're in total acceptance of somebody, so you accept the fact that they're human. You got good and you got bad. Not to say that you're accepting the horrible things that people do to you, but I think it's just you're in acceptance of that. That's what I assume that love is. You know what I'm saying? Because I think all the people in this world that love me, I'm talking about like straight up love me, I think that they are in 100% acceptance of me. So, kind of like, what you see is what you get, in a way. So that's love. Friendship is kind of like, and to me, and I've been said this anyway, when you're friends with somebody, it's like, and this is my opinion, friendship, just like love, friendship varies from person to person, love varies from person to person. And love is actually, a verb more so than like a feeling or an adjective, none of that. But friendship is more so, what's going on with me, my birthday, you know what I'm saying? My aspirations, my goals, and you're pretty much in the loop. Like you're in the loop totally.
Yeah.
And you're my friend, you're my friend. You can't be my friend on Monday and then you're not my friend on Wednesday, or you're my friend in January, then 3 months later, we ain't even cool no more. So
yeah, absolutely.
I take a friendship, bro. What about you, bro?
As far as love goes, I definitely agree with you when it comes to acceptance. But love, it's like almost like an extreme passion, like love for somebody. And like you said, love could be considered a verb more than like an adjective. But when you're loving somebody, as well as like you said, total acceptance, but you got to be full. What's the word I should say? It's hard because love got a lot of different like definitions for me as well. So like
it varies from person to person.
Yeah, and it varies from person to person and certain scenarios, certain things. Like you could have a love for like a hobby, you could have a love for a sport, you could have a love for you know what I mean, certain type of wisdom or whatever. But when it comes to people, I think I'd have to agree with you when it comes to total acceptance, but it's knowing me inside and out. It's like and it coincides with friendship because to me you can't have a friendship if there's no love there.
Right.
So I think love would be like a journey between two people that are fully in synchronization with one another. But that don't mean they got to be perfect, but somebody that completes you, like your other half or whatever the case may be. They complement your lifestyle, they understand who you are, and they'll keep you on that same right path.
Yeah.
When it comes to friendships, the same thing goes. A true friend to me is somebody who you could tell your goals and they'll hold you accountable to your goals.
Right.
A true friend will do that. A true friend is not somebody that will just up and leave for whatever circumstance. There need to be full communication between friendship as well. So it draws parallels, but obviously when you're in love with somebody, you're more intimate with them. But it draws similar comparisons between relationships and like friendships.
Yeah.
But that goes with all compatibility as well.
Right.
You can't be compatible with everybody. So as far as like compatibility goes in a relationship.
Well, before we get into that, I was basically trying to find what you call it, the term for agape love. So basically there's this interview with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, you know, like they're like super producers. They produced Janet Jackson, you know, back in the day, all of that. And somebody asked Terry Lewis if it was hard for him, or whether it was easy or hard for him to write love songs, you know, like a lot of the, you know, love ballads and things like that back in the day. And he mentioned, you know, agape love. Now, I don't have a concrete definition for that, but what he was saying, which I definitely think is true, is that love, we would like for love to be unconditional, but it's not. You know, we don't love unconditionally. You know, these days, and I'm really just quoting him, he's like, most people these days is I love you if, and I don't love you when. That's a fact. That's a fact. Because there's a lot of people where, you know, these days it's like you only love somebody as long as they're doing the right thing. And then like the minute that they do something that you don't like, it's like, you know, out with it.
Exactly. That's true.
I can't really, no. To me, because love's not easy.
No,
you know,
it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, because everybody has their own, you know, definition of what love is. And to your what you were gonna say about compatibility is that your mindset or your love style and your opinion on love, your mindset, all these different things, they kind of sort of have to, you know, line up with someone else's. Because most people, it's like, you know, I could love you the way that I think, you know, you should be loved, or you know what I'm saying? And then like somebody else like completely different, or you might have your way of how you want to receive love from different people. So
the only person that should feel unconditional love is yourself towards yourself, or your dog. If you got a dog, your dog's gonna love you unconditionally because that's the only thing he knows. But unconditional love should be the love that you feel for yourself. You know what I mean? Because only you should love yourself as much as you love yourself. You know what I mean? So and love is not supposed to be perfect. I feel like you learn more, especially in relationships, through the mess ups. Because if you don't mess up, you don't know what to improve on. You know what I mean? And then as far as like compatibility goes, incompatible people, I think you brought this up, incompatible relationships could actually thrive more because you're working harder towards the things that are not compatible. So it almost makes you work harder than if you was in a compatible relationship and things was going smooth.
That's true. I thought about that. It's like, let's say if you're playing video games, how good of a player are you really if you always play the game on easy?
Exactly.
You're not really going to get better. Yeah, sure, you know, you reason through the game because it's easy, but you're not really that good because you've never really been tested. You never put yourself, you know, to the test. The reason why part of me thinks that there's like a silver lining or like a collateral beauty to being with somebody who's not like super, because the thing is, no one really wants to be dating a carbon copy of themselves. Like I don't know about other people, but I wouldn't want to date a carbon copy of me. Like, oh, we love, you know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like I'm dating myself.
Exactly.
And because it's just like you're sort of, you know, filling in the gaps. You know, that's also what a friendship is, because it's kind of like you have certain, you know, strengths, and then I have certain weaknesses, and then by being around you, it's like my weaknesses can get stronger because those are your strengths. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's how it's supposed to be. But people think like, oh, we have to have all the same likes, we gotta have all the same interests, all the same hobbies, all the same beliefs, attitudes, everything, in order for us to have a good relationship. Nah, I just don't believe in that. No, because you have
also, how you gonna learn from somebody who's so similar to you?
Yeah, I just think you have a lot to gain from like just a completely different perspective. Because me, I'm the type of person where, it's nice to be agreed with, but it's more refreshing to be next to somebody, have a conversation with someone who doesn't agree with me. And because that way I have an opportunity to grow because I'm being exposed to something completely different than what I'm used to.
Absolutely.
You get challenged that way, and then you grow as a result of that challenge. People don't look at it like that.
Exactly. That's the only way to foster growth. If you're in uncomfortable situations or you're in scenarios that you're not often in, like stressful scenarios, and you're able to work your way through that. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. And if everything is easy all the time, I mean, you know, life happens. So what happens when you come across a situation that's not easy to deal with? You know, people cop out.
Yeah.
People just quit, because these days relationships don't always last, because it takes perseverance to have a relationship and hold on to it and work through the ups and downs. But people think that, you know, everything just has to be on the up and up and up and up and up.
Smooth,
when you do have problems, it's about, oh, what breakfast are we eating? You know what I mean? Like stupid, you know what I'm saying? Stupid stuff. Love is not
minuscule
like that.
joints.
Yeah, it's not like that. It's not like that. And how can you have relationship? Because that's like if you build a house and then you think that the house has a strong foundation. You think the house is sturdy and all of that. Hurricane comes, house is gone.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have, because the thing is, I think in order for, because I was thinking about this afternoon, in order for, you know, love to grow, you gotta have faith. But how can I have faith in a relationship that I know has never been tested? One storm comes, it's gone.
Exactly, yeah.
Then I'm constantly going to be worried, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, that sort of thing.
And a healthy relationship requires two healthy people. And society nowadays normalizes dysfunction. You know what I mean? Like, and then like social media paints a picture like things is all perfect, because people don't post their failures on social media. So we normalize dysfunction, because even that, thinking about that, is dysfunctional, because who's perfect 24/7? But if you look at certain Instagram, like Instagram couples or like celebrity relationships, in the public eye, they're all perfect, but we know damn well they ain't perfect. But that's what we'd like to believe, because we want everything to be, you know what I mean, with a bow on top, have everything perfect. And that's really not the way, you know, it is.
What people don't understand about social media and entertainment is the fact that when you watch TV, they're only showing you what you were supposed to see, what they wanted you to see. You didn't see the rehearsals. You didn't see the behind the scenes. You didn't see none of the meetings. You didn't see none of that. You only saw what they intended for you to see. That is social media. We only post what we want people to see. So you can't make an accurate assessment of somebody else's relationship via social media, because that's what they wanted you to see. What I think is very irresponsible for what people like an irresponsible, like, I don't say concept, but irresponsible ideal is that, all right, now you probably heard that, you know, people say your wife or your girlfriend is supposed to be your best friend. Like, you heard that before.
Yeah.
But I think what people mean by that is like, shit is supposed to be perfect all the time. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, it's not like that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, at times you have, you know, people who then that makes them compare, you know, a relationship that's going through something to a friendship that's never been tested. You can't do that, because it's not the same.
Exactly.
It's not the same.
Exactly. That's very true.
Yeah.
It's very true. Also, bringing back to compatibility, communication, all that stuff. When it comes to a disagreement, whether in a friendship or a relationship, what do you feel like is the best, healthiest way to get through a disagreement, an argument, something that went wrong in a relationship?
Bro, we had a back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
What, two weeks ago? And mind you, the last time we had one before that was 2 years ago. But we had this conversation where I was like, bruh, you know, I have more faith in our brotherhood now that we were able to have that back and forth, hurdle it, and get over it. So I know the next time something happens, well, shit, we had that experience before. So I know the next one, you know, if there's any, it would be that much more easy, because we already know what it is, because we had that one the first time. But people think, you know, we're supposed to be cool all the time and everything like that, and you don't know how to deal with a disagreement or an issue, because you think that everything's supposed to be cool, and it's not. None's gonna last at that point, because things happen. You have a job, you're gonna have a bad day. You know what I'm saying? Freaking, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might cook breakfast one day, the food, your favorite food might not be hitting that day. It's just all things in life are like that. You might, you know, turn your car on and then the shit might not start. Does it mean it's a bad car? No, it just had a bad day.
Exactly. Yeah.
Shit, there's a quote from one of my favorite movies. He said, "What, you had a bad day? Everybody's got a bad day. Lawyers, doctors, grocers, everybody has one. You know, it's just life, and it's part of being human. But, you know,
a lot of people are not.
Society think everything is supposed to be perfect, and literally nothing is perfect.
Yeah, a lot of people are not
real.
really.
If it is perfect, it's not real.
There you go. Absolutely, yeah.
Fake. It's fake. And then you got to question what's really going on, you know, underneath the hood, if, you know, everything's all good. Because it's like it's like if every day's a sunny day, then what's a sunny day? Is it really a sunny day? What do you have to compare it to? Mm-hmm. It's just a day.
You gotta have clouds to appreciate the sunlight. You know what I mean? So, yeah, very true. A lot of people are not mature enough to come to a disagreement or even have the strength or courage to meet it face to face with somebody else. So they either try to avoid it, walk away, act like it never happened, and try to forget about it. But it's very rare nowadays you see two people settle their differences. You know what I mean? Very rare nowadays. Most people, like the cancel culture nowadays, bro.
People cancel their own friendships. People cancel their relationships in their lives just like it's nothing, because it's the norm and they think that is cool because they see celebrities say it. Celebrities say that, and then people follow.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But there's nothing courageous about that. That doesn't take. It's not hard to just, you know what I mean, to just block somebody or whatever the case may be. It's so much harder to be like, yo, bro, I'm feeling some type of way about you. Like, let's talk this out. Let me tell you where you messed up. Let me tell you where I messed up, or you know what I mean. Right. Meet in the middle. Because in life, you can't just quit if something goes wrong. And how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yeah.
So
that's a fact.
Yeah. But also some of these traits, some of these toxic traits, like, cancel culture and stuff like that, it doesn't come from nowhere. So relationship, as far as relationships goes, the ideal relationship, you notice that first in your parents. It's the first relationship that you are able to observe and see. So if they wasn't able to settle their differences in a certain type of way and they were just arguing or getting drunk or walking away, that's going to affect you subconsciously from a child. You know what I mean? And if you're not able to break those certain cycles, they're just going to keep on continuing. So what are some family cycles or some cycles that you get from, well, not even you, just people get in general from their parents or family or whatever the case may be? Because there's a lot of messed up toxic traits that people are continuing that they don't even realize.
I mean, you got guys who hit women because they seen it happen to them. I was watching it was a video on Facebook, it was about Terry Crews. His father used to, put his hands on his mother. It seemed like a lot of guys, greats, that, I don't like Terry Crews, but, Will Smith, on the last Red Table Talk, I didn't even know that until he said that, he grew up and he watched his father, do that. Now, the difference between, like, him, because I've seen that before. The difference between, like, us and then, like, other guys who did that is that there are some people who, like I said, they witness certain things and then they know for a fact that they don't want to repeat, that particular cycle.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, that's like one of the most like dangerous, roads that any man can go down, because this is like the point of no return. Like,
literally,
it's almost like you kill somebody. Like once you do something like that, there's really no, redemption. Like, yeah, she can forgive you for that, but it's like you can't even really forgive yourself. A real man probably couldn't really forgive himself.
Yeah,
putting his hands on a woman.
Yeah, now, normalize dysfunction. you see it a lot in relationships. Once it gets to a certain like toxic point, like you said, is a point of no return. Because even to have the audacity to do that just says something about yourself. You know what I mean? Where that's just insecurities personified. If you put in the hand as a grown man, if you put in your hands on a woman, that's your insecurities from way back when personified, and you don't know how to deal with it in any other time.
Well, you know what it is, because it's like, even me, being exposed to, negative, ways of like expressing, like negative emotions, like anger, and then that affected the way that, I would communicate, and then I would just, be like that. It's not, I wouldn't say it came from, an insecurity. I think, for the most part, it came from being on the receiving end of that and just being exposed to it for, 12, 13, 14, because a lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
And some people that they don't even know it. And then because that they think that it's the right thing to do because that, they were taught that, they're not going to think it's wrong because they think it's right. So they just don't keep doing it. And that comes from yourself. Like a significant other can't tell you that. Like it has to come from you to like look at yourself and say, this isn't right.
Yeah.
I can't be like this because, if you grew up in that situation, you didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
What makes the other person that you're doing these things to, what makes them like it either? So that, that really comes from, within yourself. So to me, in my opinion, this is not an insecure. It just depends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As far as hitting women, there's obviously no,
Yeah.
It can come from an insecurity, but just, but I think there's like percentages of that. So, there's probably a certain percentage that it does come from that, because there are some guys who just weak, they want to just impose, their will on somebody else. And then the way that they do it is by, putting their hands on them.
Yeah. It's all situational.
And then there's, people like me who have been, that way verbally, and it just came from exposure and just, being like that. So.
Yeah. It's all situational, but I know, to me, I feel like it could come from insecurities as well. Because if you're beating on your wife, somebody that you love, because I feel like if you put hands on somebody, you don't really fucking, you don't really truly love them, and you'll probably beat your kids too if that's the type of thing. But if you don't know certain things about yourself, it'll come out in certain ways. Like if you're suppressing some type of energy that you never confronted, and you taking it out on your wife, you taking it out on your kids, you verbally abusing people. You know what I mean? That's the kind of avenue I'm talking about when it comes to like insecurities and stuff.
We're all, deeply affected by, negative, shitty upbringings, and having a, negative example of, marriage, relationships, friendships, like I said, because that's the first one that you grow up watching, either in your own household or, your family members and all of that. So you just grow up, watching that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, change it, because everybody acts a certain way, when they're angry and all of that. But it really comes from within yourself. Otherwise, you're just gonna repeat the cycle.
Yeah, honestly. And confronting the cycle, breaking the cycle is the best way to like grow and thrive in a relationship.
Yeah, but that's the thing that has to come from within yourself, because some people, the significant other would tell you. And you might not want to listen because you don't get it. But that's with everything in life.
Yeah.
Let's start here, before it goes anywhere else.
True. Two healthy people for one healthy relationship. Can't just be one person trying to do all, trying to pick up all the baggage, trying to fix everything. It's never gonna work out that way. If the other person is not learning and you're trying to learn them, it's not gonna work out. It takes two healthy people to have one healthy relationship.
Love is mutual.
Yeah,
200% mutual. I probably would have said that in the beginning if I remember, but love is mutual, bro. It always has to be mutual.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to heal before you enter a relationship. So like before you enter a relationship, what are certain things in general people should look for? I'm not talking about like you in general, but like what should people be looking for before they enter a relationship, and what are the red flags before they enter a relationship with somebody? When should you know it's not, this is not the relationship for me, I shouldn't be with this person?
Yeah, you're gonna have to spearhead that, bro. I'm gonna need a minute.
I mean, as far as my opinion, you got to have a connection with somebody. I know that sounds vague, but let me put an example. Like connection and chemistry, two different things in my opinion. You could learn to have a chemistry with people. Like say this: if you've ever been on a part of a team with somebody, like a basketball team, you may not be connected to them personally, but you're gonna have to learn how to have chemistry with them in order to win. Same thing goes in relationships and friendships. You gotta have that connection, and you gotta build that chemistry as well. But a lot of these relationships, or in general, people just think that, oh, okay, we have the chemistry. Nah, you need to be connected with one another, because connection is kind of hard to come by. You don't just meet certain friends and like, oh, you're my best friend, you're my best friend, you're my best friend. You got to have that certain type of connection to build that chemistry with certain type of people. And it's not just like, so like another example you could use is like arranged marriages. At first there is no connection because they ain't really love there. You just kind of like, you know what I mean? You're forced to marry this person and they build chemistry, you know what I mean, over the years. So as far as like a healthy relationship, it starts with how are you two connected? And you don't just connect with anybody, you know what I mean? And I think that's the basis point of it. If you guys have a solid connection, and then y'all can build chemistry with that. But you can build chemistry with everybody. But to me, you need to have a certain connection with somebody, something that draws you to them, not just sexually, but in a certain type of way. For everybody got their own, I guess, checklist to what makes them happy. But if you're connected with somebody, that's a special connection, and that's when you're able to thrive and grow with somebody.
Right.
If you ain't got that connection, that special somebody, if you can't look at your partner and be like, yeah, you're special to me and these are the reasons why, Shouldn't be with that person. Should not be with that person.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Because you're having people in a relationship, they don't even know why they're together.
Yeah.
Like, what? Because it's like you with somebody, and it's like, well, what would separate me from, Joe Blow down the street? They can't even tell you.
Yeah.
They can't even tell you. That's a fact. I didn't even think of that. That's a fact.
It's absolutely true.
You got a lot of people just be in a relationship, just going through the motions.
Just because.
Like, I'm here. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get into it. It's like they don't have that connection that'll keep, because everything runs on something.
Exactly. Yeah.
That connection is the fuel. That's one of the fuels that's going to keep the relationship going. But then like I said, you have a connection, so y'all get into it. Oh well, I'm here. Whatever. I'm here. And then what's keeping them from staying? Nothing. So they gonna go.
Yeah.
That's why you have relationships that be here today, gone tomorrow, or they be together for a couple years, 2 years, and then
and then they just like that, they just vanish.
That person was just another person that they were just with. You got a lot of people who have freaking our age with like 15, 20 different relationships throughout their life. I'm like, well, damn, you can't hold a relationship.
Yeah, honestly, that's facts. It's because they ain't looking for the right things in a relationship, and they don't understand that. You got to know yourself before you enter a relationship as well. Yeah. You can't just be in a relationship. You don't know what you want, what you're looking for, what you truly need. You know what I mean? Like, you got to figure all that out.
Unfortunately, it's like you do, come to know yourself through those experiences. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, anybody who tell you, they were in a long-term relationship for years, so you and I both know that who you were when you got into that relationship is definitely not going to be the person that when you leave that relationship or years down the line, whether you're together or not, because you grow from those particular situations and experiences that you have with that, particular person. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But, to add to that, I think you gotta be with somebody. You gotta be a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like that's bluntly put, but you gotta be with somebody that you admire.
Facts.
If I'm dating somebody, I gotta feel like, yo, if I made music, you be bumping my music in the car. Like,
facts.
I'm an actor, you watching, all my movies, all my lines, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be a fan because it's like, why be with somebody and they're not even a fan? Like you don't even admire me. Like, you don't really like me. So it's like, well, why are you even with me if,
just tolerating, you know what I mean? Because we look good together at X, Y, and Z, like the surface level bullshit.
Yeah, like it's just, we together, but you don't check for me. You know what I'm saying? If I had t-shirts with my face on it, hey girl, I'm dating, man, you gotta be the main one wearing all my t-shirts with my face on it, with my name on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a fact. You have to be a fan. I gotta feel like you a fan. Like, I can't put it any other way because I've been, came up with that mindset for years. Like you're not even a fan.
Absolutely.
It's like, like I remember, we was talking about that. It's like when you're in a relationship, like, so let's say us as guys, hey, I'm with my girl. I ain't looking at no other girls on Instagram. Remember, I remember who was walking. I was like, I'll be seeing other girls.
Facts, yeah. Facts.
And, oh yeah, that's great. Just
you ain't got no connection with them.
Yeah, who cares? Because I'm into the girl that I'm with at home. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I got on speed dial. I shouldn't be with somebody and then I feel like, I'm checking for this girl, that girl.
Absolutely. It's very true. You got to be able to grow with somebody. You can't grow with somebody who don't give a damn about you. And it's not even about like, that goes with friendships as well. You can't have a friendship if they don't care about your progress. They don't care how you're doing. They're not checking in. They don't seem to be interested in whatever you're interested in. You know what I mean? It shouldn't feel that way. It should feel like we're a whole unit. You're a whole team. And people shouldn't date just to date. They should be dating. Well, yeah, they should date just to date if they, healing or going through something or whatever. But as far as serious relationships go, shouldn't be dating if you don't see them long term.
You know what it is? It's because people get in relationships and it's weird, but it's more so about like what they can get out of and do for themselves by being in that relationship. So how do you have, an individualistic approach to a relationship that involves two people? So that's like you have people who, they just date around, like, how they say, oh, just date in your 20s, just date. And then they'll do that and then they'll get with somebody just to have that experience of just dating somebody. And then, but meanwhile, you have one person who, really in love, really wants to be with them. You got this other person that's like, I'm just here for the food. And then once there ain't no more food no more.
Yep.
That's why.
I mean, that'd just be destroying the other person who actually put their heart into it. Another person just like, eh. But the people who are like that should be communicating that. Like, hey, I'm not really in this for like long term, or like, you know what I mean? That should be part of communication, because that could mess people up in the head.
They can't be wasting people's time.
Yeah. If you give your all into somebody and you like, you know what I mean? And you love them and then just walk away, you're going to be stuck there hurt. You're not going to be realizing, you're going to be thinking, why? Or what did I do wrong? Meanwhile, the person wasn't really into you for the first place. It was just with you because y'all looked good together. Y'all had fun.
People
and
fake.
On to the next one.
It's people fake. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Smoke. Yeah, it's smoke. Just relations with people in general is just smoke and mirrors anyway. Because people we don't live in a day and age now where honesty is cool. You know, real transparency is cool. It's not a style anymore because, you know, people following, you know, people who just be out here dating, and then they, you know, aspire to that. So then that's what they gonna do.
Facts, yeah. Or you get the other people who just date just to have sex. You know what I mean? Or just messing with different people or whatever the case may be.
You know, dime a dozen. I mean, and like I said, I mean, people are, you know, have every right to live their life the way that they, you know, however they want to live it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's whatever, but it's like when you get next to that one person, it's like, yeah, just be real from top.
Exactly.
Like, hey, I said this before, like, you know, go ahead and date somebody else, you know, because you're probably not going to be here a month from now.
Word.
And I ain't gonna be like, yeah, yo, I want to be with you, yeah. And then like this person gets all, you know, wrapped around my finger, and then I just drop them. I just, you know, pull the carpet right from under them.
No,
it can't be like that, man.
And that's also gonna damage the person you were with. So you could be with a good person, you treat them wrong, and that damages them for the next relationship, ruins them for the next relationship because they bring in all this baggage that they can't really heal from.
The relationship can fuck you up.
Yeah, for real.
The relationship can fuck you up. That's why you hear dudes who tell you, you know, get your heart broken early. You know what I'm saying? Because pushing your late 20s and your 30s, getting your first heartbreak, you ain't gonna make it.
Yo, for real. Imagine you're married and you have your first heartbreak and you got to do a divorce.
That's why you have dudes, you know, they be killing themselves. You know what I'm saying? They'll take the wife out, they take out the kids, and then they'll take out themselves because they can't deal with it. That's why.
Can't do it,
yeah. They're in their 30s, 40s, and they don't know what it's like to get their heart broken. And then when they got their heart broken was when their life got, you know, intertwined with this other person, and then she want to walk away, and you don't know how to deal with it. So you're like, oh well, you know, I offer everybody, including myself.
Broken, yeah, honestly. And that's also why you see like elderly couples who've been together like 40, 50, 60 years. When one dies, you know what I mean? The other one, dies right after, because it'd be like the soul be connected, the heart, just be, that connection is just special to certain people. It makes them run a certain type of way. You know what I mean? Like certain people can't operate when, like me. If I was arguing with my girl or something like that, sometimes it really messes me up. I can't have a proper day. I can't have a full day where I'm thinking straight or whatever, because I just be so, you know what I mean, engulfed in whatever's going on.
Right.
You see that all the time. It's very important. You gotta heal. And if that happens too to certain people, some people got to take the time to not just rush back into another relationship. Because you see that all the time. People break up, and the next week, they're in another relationship.
They would, you know, somebody else.
Yeah, you got to give yourself space, time. You got to understand what went wrong. You got to heal before. Because the same thing that happened in the last relationship, you're either going to repeat your partner's mistakes, or you're going to keep making the same mistakes.
It's going to happen again because, I'll say it, like when, you know, I ain't in no relationship, you know, I'm by myself. Hey, I take that time to dissect that relationship or those situations like a dead frog. And I've been did that because I want to figure out, you know, the who, what, where, when, and why of, you know, what caused certain situations, you know, what my role was, why did I feel like reacting that way? That's the only way you're going to grow. So let's say if you get back to that person, you're not the same person that was involved in those certain types of situations. So they're not going to affect you because you learn from them. If you just, you know, you break up and you get with somebody else, and let's say that's like another relationship, you're going to do the same shit.
Yeah, legit.
Because you didn't learn from it. So you got this whole, you know, like cornucopia conundrum of problems and issues that you never even really got to the bottom of. And then here you just get with this whole nother person, and then you don't grow.
You don't repeat the same mistakes. People project the hurt that they have received or the hurt that they have not healed from onto others. If somebody hurts you and you don't realize or you don't accept it and you don't learn from it, you're going to do the same to other people. It's going to continue that same old cycle. You know what I mean? Then when you become parents, who's affected? Your kids. And then it's just going to be this whole cycle that we were talking about earlier. Toxic traits passed down. You know what I mean? Like the trickle-down theory. Shit is real. And people don't take the time to think about it. They're just like, oh, the sex is lit, I'm going to stay. You know what I mean? Or this is cool. This part of the relationship is cool. Meanwhile, the whole foundation is crumbling down. And they just string along. Or, you know what I mean? Stringing it along because they see other people happy on social media. They're not really trying to communicate the fact that shit ain't really working out. But not everybody's compatible. Not everybody's compatible, like we said earlier. But you can be incompatible with somebody and just tolerate them for a certain amount of years. But eventually you're going to be like, yo, I'm tired of this person. That's going to grow into resentment.
It just depends on how you look at it. If you're looking at the way that I said it, where these issues and problems that we're having is just an opportunity for me to get a broader understanding of this person and of that aspect of life that I just can't seem to get a grasp of, then that's how then when you're looking at these problems and issues and miscommunication and all that, they're just hurdles.
Facts, yeah.
Because to me, a relationship is like a two-legged race. But if you have one person that's going here, you got one person that's going there, or maybe they're going this way for a reason, then you just go with them that way, and that's how you know what I'm saying?
You gotta figure it out, yeah.
You gotta look at it. This is just another hurdle. But if it's like, oh, you know, I just don't get this person, and you know, we're not compatible, so I'm not gonna. Well, it might not even just be that. You just have because you're two different people. You have two different brains. You have two different mindsets. You lived completely separate lives, like years and years and years before you even met each other. So of course, there's gonna be certain things that's not in alignment. It just depends. Is that a reason for y'all to break up? Maybe. And it might just mean it just depends. I can only speak on my own experiences, but it's just like, hey, that's just how I look at it. All right, maybe we're not seeing eye to eye. Maybe something that I can just get a broader understanding, because this is just you learning.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Steve always tell me, remain teachable. That's it. Because you don't know everything. And neither does the other person. So y'all get together and y'all learn something.
Exactly.
But people don't want to do that because they think, oh, I am who I am, and this is who I'm going to be for the rest of my life, and I'm fine with that. This person doesn't care about it, then fuck them.
And they're just gonna move on.
I'll just break up. Remain teachable. That's the main thing. I can learn a whole lot from this person because I'm not who I was last year, and I'm a completely different person. Like if I had a conversation with myself last year, I'll blow my last year self's mind. You know what I'm saying? So imagine you're in a relationship with somebody that you love. Like that's a whole, like you said, journey and experience. And you have to look at it that way. If you don't look at it like that,
what are you in it for?
You're not gonna get very far on just physical intimacy and all that stuff. You have to look at it like, this is, every time I'm around this person, this is just another opportunity for me to learn from them. Exactly. That's it. You got to remain teachable. If you feel like you know everything, then when y'all get into it, well, what the fuck is this person talking about? I know everything.
Facts. Yeah.
You got a lot of people who are like that, where not even just romantic relationships, just like people that you just meet, people that you might work with, friends, parents. There's a lot of people, and that's a problem, with this day and age. People feel like they can't. I mean, that's the reason for war and, foreign relation issues, because countries and people feel like they just know everything. And instead of looking at, United States relationship with Russia, China, Germany, Italy, Haiti, Puerto Rico, Japan, all these things, like, why do we even have these problems when human beings know that? People don't. Human beings should know this is an opportunity. This is a learning experience. Every time you speak to somebody, it can be a learning experience if you look at it that way.
Yep.
You look at it like, oh, this is just, another conversation, whatever, then it's just going to be that. But if you look at it, because life is what you make it. What you make it.
Mm-hmm.
Is what you make it. So if you're just saying this is just another relationship, it's going to be just another relationship. If it's an opportunity for me to love somebody, it's going to be an opportunity for me to love somebody. If it's going to be a learning experience, it will be just that.
It's facts. 100%. If people thought more that way, there'll be a lot more dysfunction.
Don't watch
it. That's facts. Real shit. And we still young too. Imagine when we have kids, a certain type of love that we never felt before, and how that's gonna, translate to.
Man,
some good ass parents, man. We're gonna be some good dads out here, man. got the time to think about it. We ain't just out here just messing with random people because we could.
No, because it's just
learning through this shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think were we talking about that? Or I'm like, yo, if like, what do I even get out of just being with a whole bunch of people? So I'm like, I got a clothing line. How exclusive is that clothing line if everybody got it? If I got a clothing line, the people
saturated as shit.
You know what I mean? And again, people, whatever floats your boat. You know what I'm saying? I'm just cut from a different cloth.
except for cheating, because all this incompatibility, if people don't want to put up with it, but they're too scared to walk away because some people are scared to be alone or whatever, that could lead to cheating. Something I'm completely against. The whole cheating culture or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand it. Why waste time with somebody if you're gonna be doing all that stuff behind their back? And whatever's done in the dark will come to light. And intertwining all that energy can be very dangerous as well.
Yeah, you see all them mean quotes, and it's like, hey, sometimes you didn't even gotta do nothing with nobody to start cheating. You could just, be texting them, on the low.
Yeah.
Saying your boy, your man's, your girl, they don't even know about it. Type stuff like, saying you just be hiding your phone, like, oh, hey, I'm with him, don't call me. Say, I'll talk to you later. Like, man, a lot of people be doing that, bro.
Facts, yeah.
A lot of people be doing that. And to me, like, you, like, shit like that, like, you just got to be, like, the dirtiest of the dirty. You gotta
honestly.
Rhyme. Now, again, everybody has had, those experiences. But the thing is, if you come out of that place and you just choose to stay there, that says a lot about you as a person.
Facts.
Type of nigga, all right, you was doing this shit back in the day. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? But if you know that it's wrong and you root from that, great. But if you one of the motherfuckers that you're just this type of person and this is just who you are and who you gonna be for the rest of your life, and you just cheat on people, like I said, man and women.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm not a hypocrite, so I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, niggas can do, because there's this thing that, I partially still agree with now, but basically it's like, a door that can be opened by any key is worthless. Now, meaning, men are keys, women are doors, right? However, I'm just not sticking my key in everything either. So
facts,
I can agree with that, and I can go toting that quote because I'm not, a key that just wants to, just be busting down a whole bunch of jigs. You know what I'm saying? People would call it one-nighters, whatever, but what's wrong having just one girl? Just with that one girl and just growing with that one girl, having one plant and then the tree of life because you kept watering it.
One good woman is worth 1,000 hoes. You ever heard that old school quote?
That was Kanye said that shit. So one good one good girl's worth 1,000 of them, bro. I mean, hey, I thought that. I agree with
Facts.
that. Drake. Hey, when he had that Sis God freestyle from like 2015, he said, hey, I got one girl, she my girl, and nobody else can hit it. I used to love saying that part. That part, bro. That's my favorite part. So I still agree with it now because I get one girl.
Word.
I'm saying nobody else can, this is my girl. That's it. But,
and that's why connection is so important. People just think chemistry is all you need to have healthy relationships. Nope, you could have chemistry with any motherfucker.
Yeah, if you don't have a connection with nobody, then or you don't have a connection with the person that you're in a relationship with, then yeah, what's stopping you from getting across Joe Blow or Mary from down the street and doing some bullshit with him?
Yeah,
whoever you're supposedly in a relationship with, they don't even know about this shit. Like to me,
facts.
Like, you just, especially in 2020, like you cheating on somebody in 2020, motherfucker, you know what you're doing. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Because that shit is in style to cheat. It's in style to cheat. It's in style to call somebody, oh yeah, he's just my friend. Oh yeah, we just smoked together. Oh yeah. And then y'all fucking and sucking, doing a whole bunch of bullshit.
Word.
Bro. I hate people who are like that. Misanthropy.
You don't hate everybody though. You hate most motherfuckers.
Well, motherfuckers like that, dog.
Yeah, facts.
Motherfuckers like that.
There's sharks and then there's dolphins. I know you heard my analogy. There'd be a lot of men and women. It don't matter what you throw at them, they're gonna have their fun and way with it. You know what I mean? If a shark smell blood, he gonna swim up to that motherfucker and investigate that shit. Certain people, no matter if you show them a certain type of interest, they'll just be with it. You know what I mean? Like, and those are sharks. The motherfuckers, like, I don't know. Certain people, they don't understand like how important connection is and like energy is with somebody. Because when you have sex with somebody, you transferring energy, not just fluids, not just, you know what I mean? Like you transferring spiritual energy as well. You can't just invite any type of energy within your realm if you love yourself.
Man, well, like I said, I mean, you get a lot more out of that if you actually care about that person and you know who they are, and you know you already like, hey, this is a person that I made my mind up I want to be with. Hey, you know, Will Smith, you make the choice now, so you don't got to make it later. And you know, if I already made my mind up, I want to be with you. We'll get a lot more out of that, you know, than if I'm just, you know, with some girl and we just going through the motions. I mean, you know,
exactly.
Nah,
shit,
man.
Exactly.
Nah, man, nah, bro.
And that's why people be using the guys as far as like cheating goes. People be using the disguise of, oh, he's just my friend, she's just my friend, whatever the case may be. How you feel about platonic friends while you're in a relationship?
It don't exist in my world. Okay. Like I said, I will, you know, specify in my world it has never existed. You know, it's just what it is, because you know it don't exist. And because of that, especially these days now where the line is blurred, you got people who say that they best friends, but they really friends with benefits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're really friends with benefits, but they just call it best friends, you know, when they're around a whole bunch of other people. And personally, I hate that. Like, because you just lying.
Yeah.
Lying. Like,
and why you with somebody if you could both-face lie to them? You know what I mean? That's not proving anything to yourself or to them.
It's like, yo, you fucking them. Just own it.
Exactly.
Don't lie about it, because this is the thing. There's a difference between like somebody who like has lied before and someone who's a liar by nature.
Yeah.
If you're somebody that like you do that and you say, oh yeah, you know, oh she's just my best friend, oh he's my friend, and then like y'all really doing this shit behind, that makes you a liar by nature.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're less than dirt. Like you're less than an insect. Like you might be a human being, but like your value is like worth shit because you're a liar by nature. Because I don't think, I mean, yeah, there are compulsive liars and there are people who get pleasure out of lying, and then you got motherfucking like liars by nature.
Manipulative liars.
That's just in your character. Lie, yeah. That's just in your character. Just sit there and just be a lying ass motherfucker. Then you're
like, you're not even a person. Real shit.
Yeah, like you're just
all you have as a person is your word. You know what I mean?
Because, and again, this isn't to say that people don't have, you know, inner, what the fuck? Yeah, I can't think of that adjective, but it's not to say that people don't have men and women that, or there aren't men and women that don't have friends that, you know what I'm saying, and they're just, you know, really friends. I just don't have that, where she knows what goes on in my personal life, like, you know, how I'm doing, my fucking birthday, different things like that. Yeah. I don't have that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then the thing is, you know, to be my friend, it's like, well, all right, well, if you got a boyfriend or if you threw it at me, I'm not catching it.
Yep.
Or if you get friend, I'm not stepping on his toes and I'm not jealous, you know, in any way, and I'm not trying to harm your relationship. That's a friend. You know what I'm saying? A friend, like, all right. So, and I've always had this conversation, you know, with girls, and I've had, you know, different, you know, opinions, you know, that I've gotten back. But basically, if I have a female friend and we've been friends, you know, our whole entire life, and then she has a boyfriend and all that stuff, if he says, you know, stop talking to me so y'all can be together, go ahead and be with him.
Yeah, facts. I'm gonna fall back because I have no other intentions to be with you other than like making sure, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like we just
exactly.
Y'all just talk. Like we're not sharing bills. I'm not taking care of you financially. I don't do anything for you, but just we talk and we make conversation here and there. We hang out.
Yeah, you're just helping, guiding somebody. Yeah.
What is that in comparison to what he's prepared and willing to do for you? Nothing.
Exactly.
So I'm not worried about our friendship, because if we're truly friends, we gonna always be friends. It's just, you know, you got something going on with him, go ahead and do that with him.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. But you got dudes out here that, you know, sit there and you know step on, you know, another motherfucker's toes trying to be friends with your girl. Like, bruh.
You know what we call those people? The beta male providers and beta male cucks.
I wouldn't even say that. They're less than that. Was it Young Thug? It was either Young Thug or YG. One of them was like, bruh, don't get shot trying to comfort my girl while we're going through it, dog. Like,
facts, yeah. Those are just as bad as the liars. They're in the same category, because it'll be the conniving people who think that they could just, like, the rebound people who think they just fill your void. You know what I mean? They ain't really friends. And if they got the hidden intentions like that, they ain't really friends.
They're not friends. You can't freaking Poindexter. Yeah, you seen that thing I posted on Instagram? You a Poindexter. You a Chauncey. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like I clip this and tag dude in it. You a Poindexter and you a Chauncey if you're that type of dude. You get loud when all the girls, come around and stuff like that. You want to dap niggas up. As soon as the girls come in, you want to activate trying to be a Kevin Hart comedian. I hate niggas like that, bro. And those be the types of dudes that be trying to like talk to your girl and do a whole bunch of shit, when you're not around. Chauncey Poindexter ass motherfuckers, bro. You worse than a beta male, because people aren't beta male by choice. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, they're not.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That's like a subconscious thing. No one's really a beta by choice. It's just something that you just do because you were probably raised like that. You know what I'm saying? The red pill awareness. You know what I mean? But motherfuckers like that, you're a Poindexter, you a Chauncey, you deserve.
There'd be a lot of niggas like that, yo. Like, I'm gonna stay close to this girl because I'm really feeling her, so I'm gonna be really friendly with her. And as soon as she has a fallout with her mans, she try to slide in and see what's up. Nah.
Well, dude, people like that, whether you black, white, Spanish, whatever, Asian, all of that. If you're a nigga and you listening to this and you've ever been that guy, you deserve to be placed in front of a firing squad and shot. Put your motherfucking ass in the oven.
Legit. That's facts.
All you niggas.
And on top of that, 9 times out of 10, if you get that girl, 9 times out of 10, if you get that girl, it's not gonna work out because the same way you get them is the same way you lose them.
Facts.
Kind of connection is that?
That's a fact, man. But nah, people like that. And the thing is, there's more women on this earth than there are men. This is why I don't get. It's like, so there's enough to go for everybody. Any real man, any wise man knows to each his own. I don't have to hassle you for yours. I just go find my own.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
lazy.
If you
are lazy, that's why.
Yeah, if you got something that I want, rather than hassle you for it, why don't you just go buy it?
Yeah.
Go buy it. Go get your own. So that way I don't have to ask you for it no more because I just got my own.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the history of humans where, we're just trying to take what somebody else got, without just trying to forge it, create it, build it for ourselves. I'll just go take his.
Facts.
It's just, human history. This is why Africa got all the resources, but you know what I'm saying? You had freaking, people
Congo. Everybody got their hands in that shit. That's facts.
Yeah, but instead of just trying to, forge it for themselves, this is why, us as human beings, we have issues, right now, because, we're always trying to take something from somebody else instead of just going to get our own. We won't have a problem. That's why we have our own houses, right? If you have your own house, you're not just trying to go in somebody else's house and say, oh, I'm in here, you're going to get your own. So do the same thing with men and women. Don't be a stupid, I don't say don't be a stupid bird and go try to take another woman's man. Go get your own.
Exactly, yeah.
You walk down the street, you find 50 dudes, go say hi. Same thing with dudes. Go. Don't come barking on my tree, bro.
Yeah. People are lazy. People are too lazy to build their own authentic relationships, special connections with people. They're just they see you got a special connection with your girl, and like, oh, I want that same connection that he got, that DJ got with his girl. You know what I mean?
And I'm like, freaking lucky New York not an open carry state, bro, because it's law. You know what I'm saying? You got laws in place. They got laws protecting motherfuckers like that, because nigga come and you can't say in court, oh well, he fucked my girl or some shit like that. You can't say that. They still gonna throw your ass in jail.
Yeah, facts. Yeah,
I shoot a motherfucker like, yeah, come over here. You know what I'm saying? In my crib, I'd be like, yeah, he tried to rob the place or something. You get shot.
Don't mess with a happy home, man. As hard as a happy home is to build, don't come over here and try to squander that shit because you're too lazy to find your own.
This happened to a lot of guys. So I've been watching a whole bunch of plays, or was it a play? But yeah, basically he was just like how, hey, some dudes, they don't even want to, deal with a woman who got a man because they know that man come around, he gonna shoot you.
Yeah.
You're gonna get shot. You're gonna get shot. Something gonna happen to you.
I don't understand.
It's not worth it. Just go get your own. Yeah. Go get your own girl. I mean,
like these fucking side women, the women that are like comfortable being a side woman or a side piece, they're delusional. Because as soon as the dude tries to cut them off, they're going to try to sabotage their relationship, knowing damn well they can never really truly have a relationship with that man. So just like these people are just so lazy that they're okay with, picking up the scraps from a married man. Like I would never understand that culture of being a side piece. side woman, a side nigga. I will never understand that type of culture.
I mean, to me, that's the same shit as cheating.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is.
Freaking, it doesn't matter if you're 6 feet, you 4'11", you could be 7 feet. Doesn't matter. Okay. Preheat your oven. Put that motherfucker on like 475 degrees. Wait, 5, 6, 7 minutes. You know what I'm saying? For 7 minutes or so, put your ass in there. Strip down. Go the fuck in there. Close that shit. You won't be
watching this. You're watching this, and you got a side piece, and you're okay with it, or you're okay with being that side nigga or side woman. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You're doomed. You're doomed. I don't understand.
Just follow my instructions. You won't be missed. Okay. That
delusional. Yo, normalize dysfunction. There you go. Normalize dysfunction. There's another example of it.
Or that or purchase some motherfucking bleach and drink it, bitch.
Go get a COVID test.
Shit, some
quarantine yourself.
I just because it's not honorable. You know what I'm saying? I just don't like it.
Yeah, not at all.
I just don't like it. You're a thief. Like you're just worse than like a common criminal. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you just because you know what it can do to somebody. You know what it can do to somebody emotionally, mentally, and that's why I just don't like it because you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you're doing when you're cheating with somebody, and then it's like you know what the fuck. And motherfuckers be like, oh, all's fair in love or war. Nigga, no, it's not. It ain't fair because they didn't know about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They didn't know about it. They didn't know they at war right now because you're just doing all this shit behind their back.
And if they did, they wouldn't be with your ass in the first place.
Nah, it's just. But that's been going on for hundreds of years, probably more than that.
Yeah, that's true.
Shit.
Very fucking true, man.
Shit. Yeah.
Shit. With all this dysfunction, we talking about cheating. We want to talk about this Jada and Will stuff. That's a good segue into it now because the internet is very very corny. Very corny. They find I don't know, people think that certain information about like certain personal information should be public knowledge and people think they're entitled to like give their opinion on it. I mean they could give their opinion on it, but this cancel culture, like the whole scenario was just mad messy, mad sloppy. You know what I mean?
Honestly, in my opinion, it is messy. All right, to them, you know, Will and Jada. The fact that they even had to address it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, people's takeaway from it, or the majority, you know, takeaway from it is like freaking coonery, buffoonery, false, corny. All that shit. People didn't y'all didn't get it. If you're somebody that your takeaway from it is that Will is a simp, or you know he's hurt, you know what I'm saying, he's hurt by it, or you know what I'm saying he's losing sleep. He's Will Smith.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
Okay. If on top of that, if you watch the Red Table Talk, he cut her off. He said he wasn't speaking to her.
Facts.
So if
he said he was done with your ass, I was done with your ass.
Didn't know exactly.
Yeah.
You don't. So if she was with August Alsina, you don't think he was doing his own thing with whomever?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like he
hinted towards that too. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you." He said, "I'm gonna get you back," and Jada was like, "Oh, you already kind of did."
Yeah, just whatever women that he was with, they're just not out there talking about it.
Yeah, exactly.
August Alsina was the one who was talking about. August Alsina was the one who was talking about it. If I was there, I would told Wilson, stop calling him Og, bro.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
Don't call him Og no more. Okay.
Yeah, facts.
I bet his real name not even August, bro. I bet his real name is like Terrell or Tyrone.
Something. Yeah.
Some bullshit. Okay, you're not even born in August. So why is your first name August anyway?
Nigga's a cornball, bro.
Cornball, because the only reason why, and the real thing is, this is old news for them.
4.5 years ago.
That was a long time ago. The only reason why it's even out there is because he got off his deathbed, which he should go back there. He's got out the hospital, got off his motherfucking deathbed.
Or they stopped paying the NDA or something.
Came out with, put out 12, whack ass songs, whatever, and then decided, people don't care about me, so what is a way that I could, stir up drama? Let me talk to Angela Yee, and then let me go and put this, air out old dirty laundry that they, you know what I'm saying? So of course they have
lied on top of it, trying to say that Will gave him his blessing. Completely false. Completely false. And I don't know whether he was trying to metaphorically say that they weren't together by saying, "Oh, Will gave me his blessing," but no man who loves their wife would be like, "Yeah, it's okay for you to fuck my wife, fuck out of here.
Well,
that all stems from that whole the whole rumor of them being swingers and all that. And that's their business. On top of that, that's their business. But they're celebrities, so everybody feels entitled to speak on how they live in. But
this is the thing. The reason why I think that they had to come out and do Red Table Talk in the first place is because inaction 9 times out of 10 is the same as action. Silence is a valid option at times. So in this case scenario, if they didn't say anything, that would kind of be confirming everything that he says in the worst kind of way without any context from them.
Facts.
Now, I'm glad that they came out and said that, and you got to understand something. What I said, love being acceptance, they're in acceptance of each other. One thing that I really admire about Will and Jada is that they don't purport that their relationship is perfect or that it has been perfect. Their relationship has had its great share of ups and downs that we don't even know about.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't even know why they separated in the first place. We don't know. All they said is that we separated and this is what she went and did while we were together. That was it.
Word.
And they got past it. They just are just addressing it, for people in Black Twitter, Coon Twitter. Y'all clowning him? Like, first of all,
a lot of hypocrites clowning him.
First of all, this time last week, everybody loved Will Smith. Now everybody laughing at him.
Everybody laughing at him, yeah. You see what 50 going crazy.
When he's one of the very few, Black figures, public figures that we can all aspire to, or at least I can say for myself. He's one of the very few people that I can look out and say, he's got characteristics that I would like to apply to myself.
Aspire, yeah.
Y'all laughing at him with Lil Boosie, 50 Cent, and, Michael Blackson, and all these different people. Like, y'all didn't get it. Like, that just tells me y'all grown as hell.
Went over their heads. Went over their head for the sake of entertainment.
Over their heads, because all that tells me is that y'all didn't get the moral of the story. The moral of the story is the morals of the story is that this was something that happened 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They already got past it.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? All right, it may or may not have something that they got totally past it, but the point is, nigga, this is old news that you probably weren't even thinking about till this dude came out and said something. What happened to them? Second moral. What happened to them has happened to everybody else.
Every motherfucker.
People are acting like, oh, this is the first, like, all right, entanglement. Like, all right, yeah, cool. But the same thing happened to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You've had everybody who's been in a long-term relationship, whatever, you guys have had breakups. And
taking a break.
You saw somebody else. They saw somebody else. And y'all got back together and y'all, did your best to move past it. What is so special about them? Oh, because it's Will Smith and Jada, so they're not allowed to go through things too? I mean, y'all wouldn't have known about it, just like we don't know about your personal stuff. It's just that they're public figures, and they gave a fuck enough to just have a response, and rightfully so.
Exactly. Yeah. They're authentic people. They couldn't let that unauthentic coonery go down with them without them speaking up. And they're the only people that use their platform properly. You got people like Boosie Badass. Put your pussy lips on out for $1,000. You got motherfuckers looking up to him, but don't learn nothing from him. Can't learn nothing from listening to Lil Boosie speak.
When I posted the video up, first of all, I'm like, it just made me think. I'm like, these are the people that got the money, they got the resources, like we talk about in the second podcast. Like they got all of that, and then all he could think to say is, oh yeah, bring all the bad bitches to goddamn the club at 12 o'clock midnight. No, know what I'm saying? Come over here like that. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you lame, stupid bitch ass Bubbles the Chimp looking ass orangutan. Like, bruh. Even one of his Instagram captions, I tried to read that mentally in his. I said this on my Instagram. I tried to read that mentally in his voice. All I heard was a series of 8 baboon noises. 8 baboon noises.
What can you learn from listening to people like Lil Boosie? How are they influential? I don't understand how these types of people are influential. Like, I can understand how people like 50 Cent are influential, but he's not out the barrel either. He still be cooning as well.
50 Cent been through the same shit Will Smith been through. Boosie, Lil Boosie got like 25 kids.
Facts.
You've been through the same thing too. All right. So this is a problem with culture in general. You know why everybody's like having so much fun with this and laughing and all of that? And I felt this way about World Star, but you can correlate it to what's going on here because people have that Coliseum gladiator mentality. Because you go back to like Roman times and all of that, when they would have coliseums and you would have that one dude in there that's getting eaten by the lion, and you got all these random bystander civilians cheering. You want to know why? Guess why they were cheering?
Because it's not them getting killed.
Because it ain't them. Because it ain't them. They're not. Yep. It's not because they want to see him get eaten, all of that. The only reason they're cheering because I'm glad it ain't me.
Facts. Yep.
So the reason why 50 Cent, Michael Blackson, and Tory Lanez, like Tory Lanez had a freestyle like, oh, fucking on Jada, but I ain't gonna snitch like August, like you know what I'm saying? Like
everything went over their heads. People just showing their ignorance.
The reason why they're doing that is they're glad it ain't them, because the media, it's just like a roulette wheel. And then it's just always somebody every so often that's just on, gets a short end of the media stick. It just happened to Will Smith at this point, but it could have easily been anybody.
Yeah, facts.
They don't like it when, it's on them. And when it's on them, they're always, backlash and there's pushback against the media. Will Smith, he handled it like a real dude is supposed to handle it.
Facts.
He was there for his wife, because he could have been like, yo, just your mess. Like, I ain't going.
Exactly, yeah.
He's like, yo, I'm going to be there. It was an acceptance of Jada.
Mm-hmm.
She's not perfect. She's not perfect. This is why I'm like, yo, everybody, like, because people always used to be like, I want that Will and Jada love, right? All that stuff. No, you should be your own relationship goals between you and your girl.
Exactly.
Your man should be your own relationship goals. You can't be looking at people on the internet and in the media like, I want to be like them. Well, you don't go to bed with them every night. Like, you're not, you don't go to bed, you don't wake up with them, you're not with them during the day, you don't know the ins and outs of their relationship. So how can you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, there's certain aspects that you could aspire to and say, okay, I'm going to take this and I'm going to use this to water my relationship.
That's how it should be. People take it too literal.
That's why
people take it way too literal.
Yeah,
and Will and Jada doing that Red Table Talk is a prime example of how true love is supposed to be. They had a certain difference. They clearly settled the difference because they still together, and they're able to talk about it in front of millions of people with 100% transparency. And there was no malice over there. They was able to talk, laugh, give high fives and pound afterwards. Like, so the people clowning them clearly didn't get the full message of what love truly means, because the fact that they got through that shows them.
Well, I won't say like it's what true love is or anything like that, but what I will, because I get what you say about it.
Healthy relationship.
Yeah, I get what you're saying by that, but what I think it really means is this is what it's like to be with somebody for 25 fucking years.
Facts. Yep.
What the fuck? Like, people should really be looking at it like, and this is the other side to that. You know what I'm saying? There's heads and then there's tails. It's like dice. There's just multiple different sides with different numbers on there. That just happened. That situation that they went through just happened to be one of the numbers that they rolled on the dice, which is their marriage, their life partnership, their relationship, whatever it is that they want to call it. That's just what it is. You're gonna be with somebody. To be with somebody, you're gonna have to put up with something. I got rid of the unicorn mentality a long time ago, where I thought that there was just, there's this girl out there who's just going to get it 100%. She's never going to get on my nerves. Things are going to be perfect. I'm not going to have to tell her anything because she's already going to know it doesn't exist. Obviously, you just see that. There's nobody else alive that I look up to more than him. Like that. That's why I looked at it like, you know what I'm saying? And not like I haven't had my fair share of relationship, problems either.
Word.
It's like, if you want to be with somebody, you're going to have to accept the fact that shit happened. All right, cool. Now, what are you going to do to get over? You know what the problem is already. What's the solution? They solved this 4.5 years ago. She was doing her thing. He was doing his, because she implied it already. Like, oh, and he was like, I'm going to get you back. She was like, well, you kind of already. He said, no, I'm going to get you back for that. The only stuff that I was laughing at was when people were like, oh, he was with Margot Robbie when they were shooting, Focus back in 2013. Yeah, people were speculating about him being with her. The girl who played, the girl who was Harley
the same woman on Suicide Squad?
Yeah, the white chick, Harley Quinn. They did a movie just before that called Focus. And then, they were hanging out all the time, you know what I'm saying, all, touchy and all of that. And then people were speculating. Kind of like what I said, to you, over the phone, where people find one chink in the armor of a great, and then they just focus on that. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, all the good things you do, people don't care about the track record. All they care about is like that one thing that they could just harp on 200%. And that's just one of them. Like I said, Griffin said that there's no black great that leaves this entertainment industry unscathed. There's always something that they can get on. And bullshit, the only person who I can think of that, like, I can't think of any controversies, like Denzel Washington and like
LeBron James.
Denzel Washington and LeBron James. You can't really think of anything, with
they
them.
Don't do no wrong, yeah.
But the second something does happen,
be all over.
And especially, these days, all it really takes is just, one time
scandal, yeah. For it happened to Kobe. Happened to Kobe when that white girl was trying to say he raped her, and she dropped the charges or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was like in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And then
but you don't see that the actress coming out and saying, "Oh yeah, me and Will, da 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 da," and they're doing that for notoriety because they know all that shit is not genuine. No kiss and tell.
Nah, it's because, and I'm not sure. I think there were some people who, after Kobe Bryant died, that were harping on, I think that thing. I think there were like some media outlets that were like, "Oh, he was a rapist. Why do y'all care?"
Yeah, I saw that. But he was never convicted until he dropped the charges.
Yeah, because it wasn't super prominent, like, where it was kind of stapled to his name, because Kobe Bryant is great.
No, it was a big deal back in the day.
Oh no,
that whole time, yeah.
That's a fact. But like, obviously, it wasn't like topic of discussion.
Yeah,
like part and parcel with his name, later on, because after he retired, Kobe Bryant is Kobe Bryant.
Facts.
I don't know the ins and outs or the specifics of that thing. It's not like he's R. Kelly, where it was this whole thing that was going on with R. Kelly for years and years and years. You got girls
with evidence.
14, 15, you peed on an 11-year-old girl. Like, he deserved everything.
Married Aaliyah at 15.
Yeah, like R. Kelly. There's a difference between R. Kelly and then, like, Will Smith or whatever. R. Kelly deserved everything that happened to him.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if and this is my thing when it comes to rich and wealthy people, if you have all that money, you could afford Rolls Royces, you could afford Lamborghinis. What's with this bug, bro? You can afford Lamborghinis, you could afford, big mansions and all this other types of stuff. But you mean to tell me you can't afford to stay out of trouble? You can't afford some common sense? You can't afford some,
normalized dysfunction. Just normalized dysfunction, bro.
But basically, if you're somebody that you thought that Will Smith was a simp and you were laughing at him, and then you were reposting the, oh, why don't she want me, man? I didn't even watch none of that. Like, I never watched not one of them videos. Like, I just seen that meme and I was like, I'm not even gonna watch it. If you're one of them people, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Fuck you.
You need to preheat the oven to 425 degrees as well.
No, for real. Like,
you're one of those people.
Yeah, like, because you just, because it's just like this, like, all the, obviously, Will Smith isn't, individually putting, money in people's pockets or anything like that. So people have no allegiance to Will Smith, honestly. But it's like, It's the same thing with Michael Jackson. It's like, he gave us all this music and he gave everything that he gave to the world, the influence, all that stuff. And look at how he was repaid.
Mm-hmm.
Look at everything that Will Smith has, like, given me. I can't speak for other people, but like, just the way that he influenced me positively.
Word.
So it's like, I can't help but, like, he don't know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't know who I am, but he can only go off of what he sees, which is people laughing at him. People are not laughing with him.
Yeah.
They're laughing at him. No Will Smith slander, bro. No Will Smith slander gonna be tolerated over here, dog.
It's a fact. And a lot of be a lot of hypocrites. I don't want to. The same people who are posting it, there's going to be the same people trying to, they're going to be like, oh, I look up to Will Smith, et cetera, et cetera. There's going to be a lot of hypocrites as well.
Man.
But we see them.
Now, one thing that I always used to say back when I was like 15, 16, it was like high school years.
Mm-hmm.
And it would always be this motherfucking like them asshole little motherfuckers. And then they would like go see a Will Smith movie, or like you would see like Facebook. It says like on Facebook, oh, this person likes Will Smith. Yeah. And I would sit there and I'd be like, yo, like, what could this person ever understand from the viewpoint and mindset of a Will Smith when you're like a piece of shit, like a walking piece of shit? Like, I used to say that all the time when I was like 14, 15, 16. Like, I just never understood that. Like, people would be like, yeah, I like Men in Black. But I'm like, what could you understand from an Agent J when you're an idiot? Like, you're a piece of shit.
People ain't that deep, bro. People, they don't make people like you. People are not that deep.
Because
superficial people.
Yeah, I'm like, I think I seen somebody retweet some motherfucker like, trying to defend Will Smith, and I'm like, nigga, what do you know? Anyway, I mean, I guess whatever, but I'm like, nigga, that's just fake. You just saying that shit for retweets, dog.
Yeah.
which is why, you know, Twitter is, you know, the way that it is right now. They need to change that shit from Twitter to pander, because people are just pandering to collective thought. Really, you just pandering.
Honestly,
the definition of pander, like just to pander to something, like you just pander. You know, that's all I see. If I'm on Twitter for boxing, some kind of sports, or astrology, that is it. Just to see like what somebody's describing for the day.
Yeah,
I don't be tweeting on that motherfucker no more, bro. Twitter is not the same, clearly. Because if Will Smith was talking about when they said Black Twitter, I was in Will Smith's corner. I would have been like, yo, don't even worry about Twitter, bro. Because these are a whole bunch of just regular ass motherfuckers that like go on Twitter to get the most retweets and likes so they can feel important.
Facts.
They don't have any significance to themselves. Because if you did, or if you thought critically, what am I doing? I'm just pandering to people about what? Someone else's
people that they don't know.
You're just a panderer. Mm-hmm. You're a panderer. You're a bozo. You're just a pandering bozo.
Social media makes everybody the same person. It's like everybody, when they hop on social media, they want to be the same. Everybody puts on the same mask.
Yeah, everybody wants to pretend to be different by being the same as everybody else.
By being the same, yes.
And I felt like that, you know, saying for years, like just everybody wants to be different by being the same. And then I'm like, that's why people be like, oh, you know, I like something. And then like when I ask them, like, remember, dude was like, oh, you know, I like Pulp Fiction. So do you know Ezekiel 25:17?
Facts.
You can't even,
what's that?
You don't even know what that is. So you don't like Pulp Fiction then. That's how people are. Everybody likes to pretend that they like something, but then when they get next to somebody that really likes that shit, they can't answer a question. They don't really know.
People are not genuine. People are not authentic. Even in relationships and friendships, people front like they're a certain type of way. And then when something happens, like, damn, I was dating this person. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, you know, when everything's all good, you know, during the regular season, but then when it comes to the games that actually matter, you flop. You just
can't perform
because
they're not authentic the whole time. You don't know who's swimming naked until the tide pull in. Nipsey Hussle.
No, that's a fact.
That's real shit.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. But panderers, bro. Panderers, man.
First, you have to have good friends who are able to guide you within a relationship. But you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
so one of the things that I think relationships suffer from is you have to have friends of that relationship. You can have your own friend, but that friend has to be a friend of your relationship with that particular person. The problem today, and I've been on both sides of this, where people can only talk about what they know. People can't talk about what they don't know, because otherwise, what are they really saying? Nothing. So therefore, if I'm only telling somebody like the bad news about a relationship, then what kind of advice is this person going to give me? They're not going to be an ally of my friendship, whatever, if the only time I ever talk about my relationship is when something is going wrong.
Yeah.
So of course, when I'm like, oh man, you know, this is going on, blah, 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 blah. Well, what's going to happen? They're going to say, oh, break up with them. Don't be with them anymore. You know, move on. You know, go ahead and be happy, because all that they know is the information you're giving them, which is I'm completely angry, miserable with this person, and I can't fucking stand them. When you have allies in a relationship, what happens? They then become that temporary linchpin in that moment of, you know, stress, where they're the ones that are kind of like, you know what I mean? Nope. Y'all work it out. Y'all work it out. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
No, because I was that, you know, ally for you.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And I wish I had that. You know, where when I'm like, damn man, you know, fuck, you know what I'm saying? These fucking relationships get on my fucking nerves, or she get on my fucking nerves. You have somebody that alpha male strategies. Once he said this, and I watched this video like last year, once he said this, I was like, dude, he says a real friend, you're in a relationship, you know, with you and your girl, and you and your girl are having problems, you and your man are having problems, and you talk to your friends about it, your friends are really only supposed to tell you one thing. Y'all gonna work it out.
Yeah.
Alpha male strategies said that shit. Y'all gonna work it out. That's all you are supposed to say. Because the thing is, a real friend doesn't want, because the thing is, breakups suck. Breakups are horrible. Breakups don't feel good. I mean, especially for dudes. They don't feel good.
Yeah.
A real friend doesn't want to be partly responsible, or doesn't want to, you know, have any percentage, you know, responsibility for that breakup, because they were the ones that were like, oh, you know, don't be with her, you know, all this other stuff. Because then guess what? Then when we're not together, and I'm wondering why we're not together. If you know what I'm saying, let's say if you were the person that pushed me to like break up with her, or you know what I'm saying, to do whatever, then you're partially to blame for that.
Facts. Absolutely.
Your friend is just gonna be, y'all gonna work it out. It's either you're gonna say y'all gonna work it out, or everything that I said to you, bro, go ahead and talk to her. Go talk to her. Y'all go fix it. Y'all go fix it. That's what real friends do. That's what real friends do.
I don't know. Fake friends nowadays be giving false advice, or they'll give you the easy way out. Like, oh, just break up with her because I don't feel like hearing you complain about the same things over and over and over.
That's not a real friend.
Yeah,
that's not a
real
not
friends.
A real
actually put themselves in the shoes of the person. Have empathy. You know what I mean?
A real friend gonna sit there and listen, regardless of however it is that they feel about it, because that's being there. You know what I'm saying? That's a real friend being there for a real freaking friend. I don't know what that's like, bro. I don't know what that's like, but that's how it is, and that's the thing, because like how, you know, I had a conversation with her, because we're friends. You should be able to trust me to be able to have that conversation. Y'all two sitting there, and there's a 3-way conversation. I'm not trying to make myself look good, like, oh yeah, I would never do that. Yo, Derek, yo, you bugging, bro. Yo, because that's what some people would do. That's what some dudes would do.
Facts.
You sit with a girl
because they want what you got.
Yeah, because they can be like, oh yeah, nah, yo, Derek, you bugging, man, you bugging. Yo, I would never do that. Yo, shorty, yo, I would never do that to you. Yo, Derek, yo, what you doing, bro? No.
Facts.
Your friend's gonna be like, look, listen, like, I'm just here to translate it because I'm just on the other side to this. Let me just try to help you get this perspective. So
all I had to say to you that day was, yo, bro, talk to her. All I had to say to her that day was, yo, talk to her. I wasn't worried about, oh, yo, what's this nigga? Because I wouldn't keep you around if it wasn't a friend. You know what I mean? I know we related, but that got nothing to do with being a friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it has nothing to do with it.
Might be watching, they be like, oh, well, they're brothers. They have to be. Nah, they don't have to be none of that. You choose your family, and you putting me onto that philosophy as well.
Yeah, that
blood ain't thicker than water, so I don't mean shit.
Yeah, us being cousins has nothing to do with like our friendship at all. Like,
facts.
That has nothing to do with anything. I didn't even really acknowledge that. You know,
facts. Yeah, I had to put that out there because some people gonna be like, oh, well, you know what I mean? Nah, that ain't the case.
Because I have to, a real friend, I have to want well for y'all.
Facts.
I should, like, a real friend, when you're in a relationship with your girl, or you know what I'm saying, he should want to see y'all win. Like, I'm a friend for you, and I'm a friend for y'all relationship. So it's like, if a real friend should be like, look, listen, you know, go ahead and fix it. Or, you know, women don't have, you know, freaking female friends that are telling them, oh, freaking, oh, what's his problem? You know, well, maybe what did you do to make him feel like that? They don't have that. They're like, oh, go break up with him. Let's go to the club. Let's go to this party. Let's go to that party. Let's go to this barbecue. Let's go get new dick. And go make a Tinder. Go make this dating profile. Go make that dating profile. They're not doing that. And that has to exist. When you have a relationship that you don't have no friends in the relationship, whatever, then you don't even have a lifeline. So you watch that show.
You on an island.
You watch that show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? When it gets too hard, what happens? You get the lifeline, or you get that, or was it like that 50-50? There's like a lifeline, and then like some shit like that. But you need that because when your relationship is under attack, you gotta have a lifeline. I know what it's like to not have none. Because, and I'm partially blamed for that, where I've been that dude where the only time I really ever talk about my relationship is when
there's a negative aspects,
something's going wrong. So people can only give you a perspective based on the information that was given to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then even then, you got some people who they have that like the good side, and then they'll still just tell you anyway, oh, you know, break up with her. But then they won't break up with their girl. They won't break up with their man, but they'll tell you to do that because they don't want to see you. They don't want to see you win.
Yeah.
99%
all the time.
99% of people don't give a damn about your problems and probably glad you got them. I told your girl about that. I said 99% of people don't give a damn about your problems and are probably glad you have them. I said I'm that 1% that gives a fuck. I'm that 1% that fucking gives a fuck. And you know how many
times? You know how many times I said to people like, "Yo, yeah, I'm planning on moving in with my girl," and I'm like, "Oh, you don't want to do that? You don't want to do that? Fuck you mean I don't want to do that? Like, well, you know what's best for me? Absolutely not. So what the fuck are you telling me? Like, I don't want to move in with my girl for? People that, you know what I mean? And it only takes one or two scenarios to know, like, I can't be friends with this person, or I can't talk to this person about what's going on in my life because they don't want what's best for me. If the first thing that comes out your mouth, and when I say, oh yeah, I'm looking for a spot with me and my girl, and you over here like, oh, you don't want to do that, but that's what's making me happy. I don't need to be talking to you about nothing personal about my life.
These are the same dudes that would live with their girl in a heartbeat.
Exactly. Yeah.
They could. That's why it's like you gotta. It's either you a friend of my relationship or you're not. You know what I'm saying? And it has to be like that both ways. But girls, y'all gotta police your friends. As far as how they view your relationship, because you my friend too, but you gotta care about what I'm saying, our my relationship. Because if you don't, then like I said, it's you getting attacked on all sides. You got our issues. You got things that happen in life, and then we got to deal with y'all. Fucked up opinions about our relationship. It don't work.
On top of that, yeah, no.
It don't work like that. Again, you can't blame them because it's either that's why it's like sometimes you have problems. You either got to keep them in house or you got to give both perspective, so that way they're not looking at this person like a complete total asshole, whatever. And then they can say, all right, well, I did know about this one time that they made you really happy, or these certain, or I know that the other side, the good side of this person, so I know that it's not completely all bad. That way I can give you a perspective that freaking helpful to y'all goddamn problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Y'all just break up because the thing is, I'm not gonna be there with you, when you by yourself and y'all not together no more.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why. And even Alpha Male Strategy said the same thing. He was like, "Yo, like these people, like you know what I'm saying? You get in a relationship with your girl, they're not gonna be the ones to tell you, like, give your girl a compliment, like, oh, yo, your girl look good. You know what I mean? Oh, she was looking good today. Yo, that's a good look, bro. They're not gonna do that.
Facts.
They're gonna be like, oh, she all right. Oh, yeah. Oh, she all right. And
exactly.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Freaking video he has. He said 10 times they're not your friend. I think I told you this before. That video blew my freaking mind.
Yeah.
It literally
real stuff in that video too. Yeah.
I didn't even I seen, but I didn't see it. When he said that, like, they won't even, you know what I mean? They can't even say, oh, yo, your girl's a good look, man. Yo, that's what's up, man. You know what I'm saying? She a good look. She a good look. You've heard me say that. These are the same dudes that probably wouldn't even give you a compliment on your jacket. Because they don't want to see you.
You know what I mean?
Like,
they don't want to see you win.
Your first cut, bro. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, they won't even dust your shoulders off. I've done that for you. I'd be like, yo, bro, I see you, bro.
Facts, yeah.
I've done that shit before. But people, but people be afraid to do that shit to me because they don't want me to know. You know what I'm saying? Brent Fire said that. He was like, there's some people that will never see, the potential in something because people, they're threatened by that potential. So they don't want you to see what they see.
Yeah.
Sometimes people might not see that within themselves. You know what I'm saying? And then they might need somebody else to tell them that. Like, somebody might not know that they can sing. Somebody might not see the potential in their relationship with this person until somebody else might see it, because it's helpful. Tell me what I was saying to y'all wasn't helpful.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That should help. That should definitely help.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of the reason why I know I'm a good friend is I find more joy seeing my friends win than my own victories. You know what I mean? Whenever you have something that I know you was working hard for and you tell me about it, I'd be happy as fuck for you. And not like I'm envious, like, oh, nah, this nigga's about to do better than me, X, Y, and Z. Nah, I'd be like, yo, good shit. I know how hard you work for this shit. It makes me more happy to see other people win around me than myself winning by myself. You know what I mean? That's what a real friend should be acting like toward. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be as soon as you turn your back, like, damn, like, I wish I was this nigga. I'm envious of this, da-da-da. Nah, it shouldn't be that. Because a true friend helped that person cultivate that as well, or should be able to guide that person to success and vice versa. Yeah. So the same motherfuckers who give bad advice for relationships or sabotage people for their own good, preheat that oven.
No, cause bruh, if it's just and like I said, from my own experiences, it's just once you look at it like that, and then you realize that your relationship itself had nobody boosting it up, like no, you know what I'm saying, outside help, lifelines or reinforcements or none of that. It's like, you feel me? It's like, man, discouraging in a way, you know what I'm saying? Because, you feel me?
Can't go through life alone.
Nah, I mean, you just
trauma, you know what I mean?
Because you're just gonna need outside help at some freaking point. At some point, you're gonna need it.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't look at it. People don't look.
Not everybody perfect.
People don't look
at all.
Nah, man.
like this is the most relevant because who doesn't have relationships with people? Everybody has friends. Everybody got intimate with somebody. Everybody got family. And if you don't, that's unfortunate. But you gotta know how to deal and navigate with people in your life. That's mad important. You can't just be alone in life. You gotta be able to navigate with people in your life.
No, when you romantic relationships, let's say with you and your girl, and things like that, it just happens to be the most complex out of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can go through, there's layers to friendships too, which in my opinion, there's a lot less going on in a friendship. So I don't know why, there's necessity for, a whole bunch, like a backstory and all of that, because what we got going on, we just hang out, we just chill.
Facts.
We're just on the same team. But when it's, a relationship, then there's a reason for all those freaking, complexities and all that.
Yeah.
But
get tricky.
It just depends on how you view that how much you value that particular friendship, that particular relationship.
How deep is that connection?
Yeah. If you feel like, hey, I can't, if there comes a point where you feel like I can't imagine my life without that person, then that one person who feels like that is gonna do what it takes to fix everything. They don't want to know what it's like to be without that person, so they're gonna do that. But if you in a relationship with somebody and you're like, well, my life wouldn't be any different whether they were there or not, then why be in a relationship? That's a fact.
Exactly.
That's a fact. It's like, how are you really friends with? You're not really friends with somebody if like you never heard from them again and it wouldn't affect your life in any way. It wouldn't affect you in any way, shape, or form. Then y'all not really
exactly. Yeah. Or it's a one-sided relationship, one-sided friendship.
Acquaintances. You know what I'm saying? You were in a relationship with somebody, like y'all were just dating. Y'all weren't really in a relationship. You feel me? Like think about it.
Yeah.
If you're dating somebody, or if you're in a relationship with somebody and you guys broke up today and it didn't, like, you wouldn't lose any sleep over it, you would still go to work, do whatever it is that you do, and
it didn't mean nothing then.
It would just be another day for you and you wouldn't feel anything, then I guess you were better off not being with that person because it didn't mean shit to you.
Facts.
And it's like you said in the beginning of the podcast, where how can you be with somebody and then you couldn't even tell them like why you're with them? It's like if Will Smith said, well, why are you a fan?
Word.
I could write a 10-page essay and send it to him, why I'm a fan of Will Smith, why I'm a fan of Michael Jackson, and Lawrence Fishburne, Wesley Snipes, so on and so forth. What I mean? But I'm not really a fan of them. If they ask me, like, oh well, I like your movies. I like to watch I Am Legend. He gonna be like, oh, okay.
Facts, facts. Legit, yeah.
You can be like, oh, okay. Legit. Okay.
And that goes with anything you love in life. You should be able to argue for that. Argue reasons for and against it, honestly. You should know that inside and out.
You should just be able to, you have to have a why.
Yeah.
Everybody has a reason why they get up in the morning. If you don't have a why for your relationship, because it's like I said to you and your girl, defer back to your training, because when you're like a first responder and everything like that, in those situations, everybody's following protocol.
Facts.
Your why, why you're there, and you have a protocol that's following. That's basically it. So when there's a fire, there's a protocol to put it out, and you know why you're there. So then when there's another one, you're not gonna be like, damn, why is this happening? I don't think I want to do this anymore. I quit.
Word.
And you gotta have a why. There's a reason why I want to do what I want to do. There's a reason why you do what you do every day. There's a reason why he does what he does every day.
Facts.
So on and so forth. Because if you don't know why you're there, then you can't really do it.
We'll be able to do it. I'll be miserable. Yeah, I'd be miserable. Not to say that my job right now I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, but I have a huge reason why I'm there, and that keeps me going. I'm able to work there, OT, double OT. You know what I mean? If I didn't have a strong enough reason as to do that, and I was doing that, I'd be absolutely miserable. That's why I quit my overnight job. I had this crazy overnight 5:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. job. It's like fucking Sunday, Thursday. I was making good money, but I felt useless over there. The fuck am I there for? Time is not abundant. You know what I mean? There's not an abundance of time. We're here for a limited amount of time on Earth. So why the fuck are we gonna spend doing it?
Doing shit
we don't love to do.
Shit, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, but when it comes to being with somebody, you got to know why. You got to know why you're doing it, because that's exactly what you're referring to when shit gets rough. It's like, all right, well, y'all get into it, things are said and all that stuff, and then you're like, damn, well, I don't even know why the fuck I'm even with this person. It's not gonna last. And that's the problem these days too, because it's kind of like you with somebody, and then like they won't even tell you they feeling like that.
Yeah.
They won't even tell you they feeling like that. Like,
they're too scared to be alone or whatever. Yeah.
So like shit gets bad and shit hit the fan. It's like, well, damn, I didn't even know you was feeling like that until you just went ahead and told me. And then that's the hurtful part, because it's like, not only do we have this one issue, but then now you're telling me all these other things that like I didn't even know about. Right. And kind of like I was talking about before, once you plant like in a relationship, once you plant like seeds of doubt, the motherfuckers are very hard to remove. Very hard to remove. It's like you have like a bush, like a plant bush, and then you put a weed in there, and then like that weed is getting watered along with the rest of the plants. It's gonna be hard to remove because it's like a vine and it's like intertwined with all the rest of the plants. So you try to remove that weed, you're removing the other plants too. You don't want to do that, so don't put the weed in there. Period.
Yeah.
And that's and that's a bunch. And that's how people be, bro.
People are not authentic nowadays, man. Carbon copies with different covers,
because they just don't care. Because the thing is, now it's like when you hang out with somebody, it's hard for them to put their phone away. Like I seen this. I was watching Steph is Cold, on a freaking Patreon, and then this dude was talking about how him being around his girl and then her not being engaged because she's just on her phone.
Wow. Yeah.
Everybody's like that, where you go out and then you even go out to eat with people just be on their phones, because now people are just like into themselves and they're just in their own little bubble. People don't care. It's like what I was saying about rich people. Rich people kind of are just in their bubble, and they don't even know what the hell is going on in the real world, because the only thing that they know is just their bubble that they bought.
Facts.
Well, that's the same thing. So if how you feel doesn't compromise my bubble in any way, why should I care? It doesn't affect my life.
Exactly.
It doesn't affect me or anything like that. So why should I care? That's how people are. That's why motherfuckers who are like, well, that's like if I step on your foot. I think I told you this before. If I step on your foot, and you're like, damn, man, yo, bro, you stepped on my foot. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Means I didn't do it. That doesn't mean I didn't do it. I still stepped on your foot. You got hurt.
Exactly.
Yeah, people that are like, oh, well, because I didn't mean to do it means I didn't do it.
Irresponsible. A lot of people are irresponsible.
Yeah, because shit. Yeah, and that's another problem in relationships, because people don't want to hold themselves accountable. They don't want to be held accountable for their actions and the things that they do, because they feel like, oh, well, because I didn't feel like I didn't mean to hurt you, or it wasn't my intention, means I didn't. And that is like freaking harmful as hell.
That's the worst thing to do in a relationship as well, because at the same time that message is saying, fuck your feelings. I don't give a damn how that shit made you feel. I don't see it that way, and I'm not going to try to see it your way, because
I didn't do it.
My way or the highway. I didn't mean to do it, therefore I could do no wrong. You know what I mean?
Look at it like
my own thing at the end of the day.
They look at it like I didn't do it. Yeah. Like, I know you did it because I just watched you did it. Like I got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's like physical or like you hurt me. You know what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me because you feel like you feel like you didn't do anything means that you just didn't do it?
Yeah,
a lot of people feel like that, bro.
And it's impossible to grow past a certain situation if somebody can't take accountability for it. It'll always make you feel rotten every time you think like, damn, this happened, but they never really made up for it. Like, I'm still feeling some type of way because this person never took accountability for it. And if they're not going to take accountability for something, therefore they don't think they're wrong, so they'll do it again. And that's like, damn, what else are they doing that they're not taking being accountable for?
That's like going on
rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's like you drive home, and then you go the same way home every day, and you hit the same pothole every freaking day. That's just the same. It's literally the same thing.
Yeah,
it's the same thing, and it's just like, well, at what point are you realizing that hitting that same pothole is doing damage to the goddamn car? You're not, you know what I'm saying? And then you're not, you know what I'm saying? Because to me, yeah, it's like, yo, a relationship is like a car. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, and it has parts that you got to maintenance. So it's weird that if I'm telling you that I got hurt and you hear your tire is making noise, you're not going to address it, or you're just going to keep it.
Just going to ignore the check engine light until smoke starts coming out the engine?
Yeah, until it gets worse. And then at that point, you know, the bill is going to be a lot much more higher than if you were to just have addressed it right in the beginning when it started making noise in the first place. It's the same thing with relationships, because you got to look at it like, yo, this person is saying this and that. Whether you know I meant to do it or whether this is my mindset, I got to take into account because I care about this person. Connection. If you have that connection, it's gonna be easy for you to do that. It's gonna be
exactly
easy because that's like you got a friend and you feel like, oh, you know, this friend will steal from me. This friend will, you know, stab me in the back. You know, saying if given the opportunity, how are you gonna be friends with them if you feeling like that?
Facts.
If you have a connection with them, or if they have a connection with you, they wouldn't want you to feel like that. They're like, damn, you feel like that? Damn, I didn't know that, bro. All right, cool. You know what I mean? Someone who don't have a connection, like, what? Oh, you think I would do that? Well, fuck you then. We're not friends no more.
Facts. So why would you think that you thought that of me, and et cetera, et cetera? That's true.
That's a fact. True. But that's part of, you know, social culture now. That is the social norm. That is a norm.
The normalized dysfunction.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. Say that shit again.
Little subtopic of this fucking shit. The normalized dysfunction is just running rampant nowadays, man.
But people don't look at it. They don't see it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They wearing like 3D glasses, and then they think that, you know, dysfunction is like the right thing because they don't even see it like that. They just look at it. It's normal because that's what everybody else is doing, or because I perceive it as the right thing means it's right.
Word.
It's not always the case because, you know, right and wrong means different things to different people. You gotta expose your opinion to somebody else, and then you'll get a new opinion by having that conversation with them in the first place. But people too scared to do that.
Yeah, people too
scared. People too chicken shit to do that these days.
Facts. You ever heard of a movie called They Live?
No.
It's like a really old school movie, and this dude finds a pair of glasses, and when he puts the glasses on, he sees life for what it really is. So he'll see ads, like he'll see like a cigarette smoking ad, but he'll be looking through it with his regular eyes, and he'll be like, oh, it's a cool looking ad. People smoking cigarettes, they're having fun. But when he puts on the glasses, he sees death. You know what I mean? And then, long story short, it turns out like it's a movie about the Illuminati and all that stuff. So he goes, he figures out that I think the world is run by like aliens and some crazy shit. But the moral of the story is life ain't really what it is for surface level. So if you're gonna have all these issues in a relationship and you're not willing to address them, you know, you're not willing to put on your sunglasses and see it for what it is.
It really is.
It's gonna be the same shit. You're gonna be living in a fucking fantasy.
Matrix.
Yeah.
Podcast too. You know what I'm saying?
Check that out if you haven't seen it already.
Yeah, because people don't want they don't want to see the harsh realities. Because the harsh realities in a relationship is, dang, my actions cause all these different things.
Facts.
But they don't want to know that. They don't want to know that. Like, I've had to realize that I've done a lot of fucking, saying shit that I shouldn't have done, or things
that makes you a better person. You learn from it. It not only does it make you a better person, you learn how to deal with people, learn how to deal with certain circumstances now. Like, it makes you a better person if you're willing to have that courage to confront it. Yeah, if you're not willing to have that courage, you'll just remain the same and you'll continue doing the same fucked up shit.
But that's literally like there's like different red pills for different aspects of life. That's one of them.
Yeah.
That's really one of them. Because, hey, you gotta wake up sometime.
Facts. Yep.
You gotta wake up sometime. Because in order to see that, you gotta look at yourself and understand. Because that's one thing that I've always said to people. I'm like, I would never purport that I'm the quintessential man, or I've been the perfect boyfriend, which I haven't. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I've made freaking a million mistakes, 1,000,001 mistakes.
We still learning from our mistakes.
Yeah. And the only reason why I've grown is because I've spent all that time looking at myself versus looking at somebody else.
Word.
I can look at someone else's, freaking mistakes all goddamn day, but how does that help me? I'm just looking at them instead of looking at my mess that's right here in front of me. People don't want to do that, because then once they look at the things that they've done, that also makes them look at aspects of their character that they might not even know about.
Word.
But you take the red pill, you put them glasses on, you're gonna see the harsh realities.
Facts. Facts.
Ignorance is bliss for some people. They just don't wanna. They don't want to know. They don't want to know.
People don't want to acknowledge. My fault. People don't want to acknowledge the chinks in their own armor. They just be duct taping that shit. I don't give a fuck how it looks.
Oh my, bruh. But
Yeah, people don't want to notice the chinks in their own armor. They want to walk around that they perfect all the time. That's why people never post their failures on Instagram. And if they do, they're worth a follow because that'll be a real authentic person putting themselves out there.
Right. Because in this thing, I'll pose you this question in a second. But basically, it costs people nothing. And maybe, and you know what's funny? Maybe it does. Because one thing that I've always said is like what I want out of a relationship, or let's say like what I feel like I could get from being with somebody wouldn't cost them anything. Because I'm like, it costs you nothing to be loyal, costs you nothing to, respect me, it costs you nothing to be supportive, all these different types of things. And it costs people, and that's the thing. That's why I'm like, it probably would cost somebody everything to put them glasses on or to take that red pill and look at themselves, because then that strips them away of like all the self-preservation, freaking tendencies that they go to, because that's one of them. Not wanting to house themselves is like self-preservation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, man, like, yeah, like this is it. I felt like that, where I'm able to just self-analyze and self-assess very easily, because I'm always in my head anyway. Word. So I'm always thinking about the things that happen. Like I said earlier, I dissect, situations like a dead frog after the fact. Word. It's like, yeah, you have an argument with your girl, if you want the relationship to grow, you can't be, pumping your chest up because, you said a whole bunch of hurtful ass shit. You can't do that.
Yeah, hell yeah, it's facts.
And I've done that before, where I'm like, yo, I just like, yeah, man, I'm angry and all that. I mean, there's gonna come a point where you're not gonna be mad anymore.
And you're gonna regret all the fucked up shit you said.
That was one of the biggest things for me, like just relationships and just the way I handle, I process and express anger and like negative emotions. Yeah. That, you know what I mean? Because I used to pump my chest up, I said this, I said that, and then like the next day, 2 days later, I have a hard time reading the shit that I said.
Facts, yeah.
And that's like,
that shit is embarrassing.
It is. It's like, damn, but because that's the red pill. Because sometimes you might not even like, being blue pill is like not even looking at what you said. And
exactly.
You know what's over there, but you're not gonna look at it.
Exactly.
It's like I've read shit that I'd be like, damn. Even like I said, Paul my wrote. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I got it out of my system, but I'm like, I don't want my mind and my emotions to stay in that particular place. Yeah. Although it was cathartic to process my emotions, poetically at the same time. It's like, hey, what am I really even saying right now?
Word.
There's always an alternative. There's always a better way. Because I used to be one of them dudes where I used to use social media for that. Oh, I'm mad about some shit. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna tweet about it. I'm gonna go ahead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my rocks off that way. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that maybe this person go see it.
Facts.
For what?
Yeah.
For what?
It's the pride. It's the pride and ego that makes people do that, though.
No, yeah. I mean, because I, my little notebook where I got, all my goals and stuff like that in there. This might have been 2015, like where I was like in the midst of all of that, like where I was doing, like being toxic, my own toxic ways, all sorts of types of stuff. And back then, I even wrote, I just wrote down all the qualities that I would like, the qualities that I think that I would have by the time that I hit my prime. Like, and I'm still aim towards that.
Yep.
Because that's the goal. Because I'm like, I don't want to, be at the mercy, my emotions all the time, where
exactly
I can't get a beat on at that point where I'm saying a whole bunch of shit that I know for a fact I probably won't mean a week from then.
Exactly.
One thing Drake, said in an interview where he was like how, before like he would like publicly respond to some shit, he'll give himself like 72 hours like before he even says anything. How you feel the first day, probably not how you're gonna feel, or what you would say the first day is probably not what you're gonna say on the third day.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing where I still have my flaws, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I don't struggle with, the way that I express, myself when I'm pissed off as bad as I used to, back in the day.
Yeah. But it's a work in progress, because when you're in the moment of frustration,
it's not easy.
Sometimes, like it's called the amygdala hijacking or whatever. You know what I mean? You can't control yourself when you get to a certain point. Right. But it takes a real person to understand. I'm getting close to that point. Let me just back away. Let me come back and and talk properly about this rather than just getting irate. Because what situation is ever solved by being irate with your partner? Nothing. Maybe, you know, if she starts crying, then you'll calm down, you'll start talking. But who the fuck wants to make their partner that upset? Nothing ever comes from that. So when you realize it about yourself, you're able to be like, okay, all right, I'm getting to that point. Let me get myself. Let me practice that 72-hour Drake rule. Let me take a step back, see how I feel about it later, so I can voice my opinions in a more intelligent manner rather than just screaming and cursing and doing all this other nonsense. You know what I mean?
Let cooler heads prevail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, unfortunately, that's the thing. You know, one of the things that I hate is, like, you don't, you know, when you're somebody that you didn't have that, you know, growing up in the household, you don't know. And then the way that you come to find out all that shit is by getting it wrong.
Trial and error, though.
And then, I mean, yeah, but sometimes it's like, it's trial and error for you or it's trial and error for me, but it's not for whoever it is that we hurting. You know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's facts, yeah.
Yeah, and that's why it's like, damn, I'm like, you know, we can't blame ourselves for not knowing, but at the same time, it's like, I do, because, you know, look what it did. You see, my CoStar app, it said, not today, but like a couple of days ago, it was like, you affect people, you know, just as much as they affect you. And sometimes I don't even take that into account, which is true. You know, and I'm somebody who I believe I have a way with words and shit. I try to use them for good. Yeah. Because, you know, for a very long time, you know, I was using them motherfuckers for bad. And, you know.
Well, in certain scenarios.
In my relationship. And the thing is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And like, you know, what's, you know, and the thing is what's done is done. Because a lot of times, you know, you can't take back, you know, what you said.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, one of the worst feelings ever that, like, you know, you made all the mistakes with, like, the person that you want to be with, you know, type shit. And then it's like, you know, all you have left is like the lessons, but you just, like, you know, by yourself.
Actually, that should be hurting, bro. That should be hurting.
Hell yeah. You think there's so do you agree with me where it's so to me it's a difference, right? So you got people who, you know, when you're going through a breakup, they'll tell you, oh, you know, just move on, right? Anybody can move on. Mm-hmm. Anybody can move on. But letting go of the idea of you and that person permanently is a completely different process. Like, what's your take on that?
Yeah, it's almost it's a process, but it might never go away, to be honest. That don't mean that you're still, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean you're still emotionally involved or whatever, but you still might think like, damn, what would happen, et cetera, et cetera. Like that's normal. But I think that's normal with most people. Most people just won't acknowledge it, or they'll think that, oh, I miss my ex, whatever the case may be. Because most of the time, if you say that, you know, you miss your ex, you miss the person that you were when you were with them, not actually the person.
You said the person that you were when you were with that person? Mm-hmm. What do you mean by that?
So let's say, like, I don't know. Let's say if I was saying, like, I miss my ex or whatever. 9 times out of 10, you miss the person that you were while you were with that person.
No, I never heard that before.
They brought certain things out of you that other people can't. That's just the way it is. Certain energies mesh, and the synergy creates a certain type of vibe that you can't get nowhere else. And you will never get nowhere else. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I think that's completely normal, too. I think it's just a part of life. There's certain people in life that we meet that we'll never forget, or certain scenarios and situations that happen to us that we'll never forget. That just becomes part of our DNA.
Yeah. Man, that's some real shit.
That's just how I feel about it. Because certain things I still think about my first pet. You know what I mean? My first pet taught me a lot about things, about people that, you know what I mean? My first pet taught me more about people than people have. You know what I mean? Or my pets in general. I've always had a pet growing up in my house. You know what I mean? So it's just like certain things don't go away. It's just our DNA. Like scars. You know what I mean? And certain things just leave scars behind. And when you look at that scar, like, damn, I remember the day I got this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Doing, you know what I mean? Like, that's just the way life is. And life is fucking brutal. Life ain't easy the same way love ain't easy. Love is supposed to be brutal because you learn more about yourself and life going through heartbreaks and going through trials and tribulations.
Jada said that, and Wesley Snipes said that. She said, you know, hey, their relationship, their love was forged in fire.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes said in another interview that, hey, you know what, you know, the best swords go through fire. You know what I'm saying? Freaking kill, you know, layers and layers and layers. Mm-hmm. that's how it is. Shit, that's how I feel about
Facts,
myself.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how it is. I'm like, because sword, you try to cut through something, and it wasn't forged properly. It's gonna break. It's gonna chip.
Break, yeah. It might hurt you. It might break in the wrong way and stab you. You gotta be able to have a right handle on relationships, same way you have a right handle on swords and shit, man. You gotta be able to hold that shit properly, grasp that shit, be able to maneuver that shit. You know what I mean? Like, make sure that shit's strong enough to put it through whatever you're about to put it through. But if it's not, it's gonna backfire. That shit might stab you or hurt you in some type of way.
Yeah.
Man. Everybody got the certain attachment, like a certain attachment type. I forget the name of it. There's a book called Attachment Types. I forget the name of the author or whatever, but it goes back to like compatibility. So, for example, my girlfriend is an anxious type. So she's like very, I don't want to say clingy, but she requires a lot of attention. She's very emotional. She's very sensitive, and I'm the complete opposite of that. But that kind of works in our favor. But attachment types, you gotta be careful with certain attachment types, because technically on paper, me and her are not supposed to be together whatsoever. Because when she pisses me off, I walk away, or I'll you know what I mean? I'll get my space, but she's not that type. She's like, you know what I mean? So certain attachment types are not good for certain people, but that leads to like the incompatibility issues. So us not sharing the same attachment type made me work on communication even better. So it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
But it could be brutal for some people who don't have that type of mind to reflect and see what's going on. We just wouldn't last. We would just break up, and it would, you know what I mean? It would be it. But they say on paper that's the worst two types of people to be together: is an anxious, avoidant, an anxious person, and an avoidant type of person. I forget all the types of personality or attachment types there are, but all that stems from our parents, how we were raised. How much attention did our parents give us? Did we receive too much attention as a kid? Did we receive too little attention as a kid? And that carries over through your love life. That's all in that book as well.
But you know what I think happens to the two of y'all, just based off of where you read that from, and then like your actual experience, and then where you guys are headed. Mm-hmm. Then you guys evolve from whatever is written about the two of you on paper. Then you become something much greater than the box that book tried to define y'all to, because the fact that you guys clash, what happens? You level up, you evolve.
Facts. Yeah.
And you evolve. Like that's it. So that's why to go back to what we were saying earlier, you can grow from that. You know what I'm saying? You evolve, you become something greater, you become something that there's no term for it, because it's just that great. Is one of a kind. Right. You can't describe it anymore, because it's one of a kind.
Absolutely. And then when you go through the same scenarios that you went through before, and that y'all was bugging out before, or that we've broken up before in the past, we're able to see that, meet eye to eye, and get through it without even raising like a voice or even getting into like no disagreement. Oh, we've seen this before. We know how to navigate it through. Right. But you got to have a connection with somebody to have that type of patience with somebody to deal with certain messy scenarios and go back to the same person. You know what I mean? So all that shit ties in together. Chemistry don't mean shit. Chemistry don't mean nothing. So when people are like, oh, our chemistry's on point, that don't mean anything to me. How is y'all connection? How do y'all vibe together? That has nothing to do with the chemistry at all. If y'all don't connect, that don't mean shit.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like kind of like what we ended up viewing. Connection is really how much you value that person, right?
Exactly.
This is like, like I know why I'm with this person. This person means this to me because of, and even if because some people, not everybody's good with words. It's one thing that I think I've come to understand, is that not everybody knows how to articulate their thoughts in that way. Because there's some people who know how to talk, but then they can't talk about like matters, like that.
I'm dead ass that person, bro. I said I'm that person. When it comes to like me being emotional, or when I'm going through, or I'm stressed out, that'd be like the last thing I talk about. I'm working on that right now. You know what I mean? Right.
But as long as your why, you can have why. You know what I'm saying? Like within yourself, and even if because talk is cheap anyway.
Yeah.
But if you can demonstrate it in your actions, convey the fact that exactly why you're with this person, then it's fine. You know,
Exactly.
because at the end of the day, you could tell somebody, oh, well, this is, you know what I'm saying? Because yeah, you say, oh, this is why I'm with you and all of that, but you know, actions speak louder than words. And at the end of the day, because you know, you really only go off of what someone does more so than what somebody says. Because
they're
like, yo, yeah, yo, you know, I love you and all that stuff, but then you know, they're not there for you.
Or they're cheating on you.
Shit, they cheating on you.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have your back. Then like, well, you don't really love me that. You know, that's. I actually never heard of I don't think I've ever like read anything about you know, attachment types and none of that. No, I don't think so.
Good book. I think Whitney put me onto that too. There's also a book called Social. People Wired to Connect. You learn a lot about, you know, people reading that shit too. But real shit. It's very helpful knowing that too, because like you could still get through it if you have a good enough connection with certain people. But learning that book, you quickly identify the certain types of people that you're surrounded by, and then it just makes it more harder. If you guys are on the opposite end of the spectrum, it'll make it a lot harder for it to last in the beginning. So that book is very helpful navigating those differences and learning how to deal with it. It'll teach you to be like, yo, if you're dealing with this type of person, do more of this, do more of that. You know what I mean? So you could kind of like make it natural for yourself, even though y'all are opposite ends of the spectrum. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I wonder which one I am then. So I'm probably gonna read I'm probably gonna read an article about all of that.
I don't even know. I wouldn't even be able to say. I mean, I don't know the book that well. It's only the piece of the book that I remember. But
oh wait, so that was from a book that you read.
Yeah.
Attachment types is from a book that you read.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I think there's probably some Google articles about that I could probably read. But shit, I mean, I think I'm probably one of the ones that can't be defined anymore.
You're probably a mix between the two, because it's not just, you know, you're stuck to being one. But me, I know for a fact I'm 100% avoidant.
Yeah. Oh, nah.
That's the type of person I am.
You know, I think I'm probably like a mixture of probably two different ones that I haven't read yet, but I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more than one. Like one of them is like
there's four main ones.
Yeah, like so there's probably gonna be one of them that's like natural, and then there's gonna be another one that was like acquired, you know, over time.
Let me look it up real quick.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
Attachment types. Oh, okay, there we go. So, oh man, yeah. I'm like the worst type. I'm like the worst type of dude to date. There's secure, there's avoidant, there's anxious, and then there's disorganized. So, secure people are autonomous. That's probably where you are. There's avoidant, which is dismissing. There's anxious, which is preoccupied. Actually, I'm reading the wrong thing. But yeah, the secure, avoidant, anxious, and disorganized. So
wait. So what's secure?
Secure is like autonomous. So like nothing really bothers you. You can be with any type of. Maybe I'm secure. You can be with any type of person. You make it work because you know what I mean. Let me bring up the actual thing. Secure can trust fairly easily. Is attuned to emotions. Can communicate upsets directly. Leads with cooperative and flexible behavior in relationships. That's secure. Anxious people have sensitive nervous system, struggles communicating, needs directly, tends to act out when triggered. Avoidant, dismissive, downplays importance of relationship, is usually extremely self-reliant, can become more vulnerable when there is a big crisis. I'm low-key avoidant, dismissive. It sounds bad. And then there's avoidant, fearful. More dependent in relationships than avoidant. Strongly fears rejection, has low self-esteem, and has high anxiety in relationships. I'm most likely avoidant, dismissive, and secure, a mix between that two, because I could downplay the importance of a relationship real quick if I'm in that type of, you know what I mean? I definitely could do some shit like that.
Yeah.
But I'm the type of person I'll figure shit out on my own. Right. I feel like I got all the tools in my tool chest, so I don't, even though I might be overwhelmed, I'll try to figure that shit out on my own until people like, yo, bro, like, you know what I mean? You need help. You're not alone in this type of shit. And if you pair that up with an anxious person, it is not supposed to work. So they say, but
the damn thing. I don't know. I couldn't say.
It's an interesting book though. It's definitely interesting.
Yeah, I couldn't say which one.
That's the Ainsworth. It came out it was a test in 1970 that identified the three. So there's only three main types: secure, anxious, and avoidant. But then there's avoidant, dismissive, avoidant, fearful. But yeah, it's really good read for people who want to understand more about people. It's a good book to learn about friendships, because if you could have a friendship, you have a friend who's any of those four. Matter of fact, you probably know, you can definitely identify somebody who fits into that description. But it shows you how to navigate and how to deal with certain people who are, with just certain types of personality traits.
Yeah, shit, that should probably be like a mix between like secure and probably like all three.
Definitely secure. Yeah, you said all three of them motherfuckers.
Yeah, all three of them motherfuckers. Because it really just depends.
Yeah,
it'll probably be secure, like anxious sometimes, and then like dismissive. Like all three of them motherfuckers.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
It's very helpful because I'm an assistant supervisor where I work at. It's very useful when you're dealing with your staff, when you got to train people, you got to work alongside people. So it's a good book. You know what I mean? Just to be around people, especially if you're not a people person.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like astrology in a way, where astrology kind of gives that point of reference as far as like how you deal with people, and yourself, and then why people are the way that they are, and will kind of give you like an outline of how your relationship could probably go and shit like that. Yeah, you definitely need to look up stuff with you, some stuff with you and your girl. Maybe that'll probably help.
Oh yeah, I already did. I found out the time that she was born. She's sleeping right now. I'm trying to wake her up. Trying to find out I try to find out the time I was born, the time that she was born. I put that shit in, and this shit's been pretty helpful.
Which app did you use?
I used Astro Future.
Yeah, the one that
Astro Future, and then the pattern. They're both pretty on point too.
Yeah. Because especially because the fact that y'all been together that long, it has to be up there.
Yeah. They ain't being genuine. They're probably not being genuine. Luring you in.
Nah, those be the fives and the sixes. But all right. So
man, this was a good podcast episode.
Yeah. All right. So feel free to check out some of my gaming content on the channel. The other 3 podcasts that we have up. Some of my commentaries as well. Any last words, my brother?
Nah, man, just guide with love, man. Hopefully you learned something in this podcast and you could apply it to your life, because we talked about a lot. Through experience too. We ain't just talking out our ass.
We talked about a lot of different stuff. Hopefully it provided some insight and information to some of you people out there. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.